I was packing my bag for the gym the other morning, so I didn't have to go back home later. And then I ended up forgetting like my shoes, I think, and my headphones.
Oh yeah.
And I had to go back because I'm never gonna work out without my headphones.
Baby.
And I went back home,
Dude. You baby. Why?
Yeah.
You can't be alone.
No, I just
can't be motivated just by your thoughts.
No, I just like the music because I like also to like focus. It focuses me more, so I'm not so distracted with everything.
Yeah. I forgot my headphones yesterday, actually. Did I see you? I didn't have headphones on when I saw you.
Yesterday? No.
No, yesterday I didn't, but when I had seen you too, I had yet to have those headphones that you saw. Mm-hmm. Those are my new headphones because I didn't have headphones. I accidentally drove over them.
How?
Did you drop them? Put my headphones on the car and well, maybe somebody else drove over it. But anyways, I had to find my app. What are they called? AirPods. Yeah. I did find my AirPods and found them on the street. And they were crushed. And that's terrible. But it's worth it because now you
got the Bose.
You got the Bose.
You got the Bose now.
And it's better. It doesn't hurt my ear.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other AirPods didn't hurt my ear too much, but it would always be crooked. It'd be like pointing in different directions just because of this ear, because of the cauliflower ear. This ear is fine. But this ear is swelled up in high school. It like in the inner part of it swelled up, like very balloon-like. Mm-hmm. And I ended up having to go get it cut out by a doctor. Oh, and they numbed it up and then cut it open and scraped it out. And they kind of did a shit job because now I realize it's such a big, still a bulging ball of just hard rock in there. They didn't make it very flat because this ear is like inner concave and smooth. This ear is like bulky and hard.
Did it happen to that ear too?
No, just this one, singular.
Okay.
Weird, huh?
Mm-hmm. But
it makes sense for headlocks. If I was headlocking up with people and our heads rubbed against each other and their head hit my ear, that's usually what does it.
And you just always went to that side. That was your dominant side. You're just like,
put
him to that side.
Yeah, because you drive in. It makes sense. Yeah, totally. Because if you had, did you ever wrestle?
No,
never.
I did it like one year.
Oh,
and I went through like the practices, and then I went to my first meet, and I think I lost to a girl.
What grade?
It was like 6th grade. I think.
Okay.
I want to say like
right
6th
in middle
grade.
School.
And I was like I'm tiny little dude, and I lost to a girl. Ooh. And I literally walked over to my dad because my dad was the one that got me into wrestling. And I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I was like, I want to go home. And we did. Like we walked out. I grabbed all my stuff and we walked out. And I was like, I guess I should play basketball instead.
Dude, that's worse. I had to wrestle a girl also, and I think it was in the 6th grade because I think they do the K through 6.
Yeah.
And that's the era to dominate. 6th grade of the K through 6 is when you are the biggest person. Because I would get my ass kicked, I think, in 5th grade. I don't even know if I did it in 5th grade. My memory is hazy of the past.
Yeah.
But I do remember this. My 6th grade year when I had to wrestle a girl as well. There's no winning. You lose, you lost to a girl, you win, you do what I did precedingly. I did a jab double on her where you put your forehead straight into her chest and grab both of her legs, and I just pile drove her into the mat because my coach gave me like a pep talk, Qualls. He's like, you treat her like a guy. You go out there and put it to her just like a guy. And I was like, all right. So I just jab doubled her.
Mr. Qualls was intense.
He's intense.
He's intense. He's an intense dude.
Yeah, and right away, at the end of that jab double, she just starts crying. The ref calls it off, and she's just like crying on the mat. Their coaches come out, and I look over, and my coach was like, and I won.
What did he say? He's just like over on the sideline. Just
like, good job. You should have killed her.
Nice.
Finish her. He's like... Full Nelson.
Just over there like, I didn't get to tap her out. We should go round two.
I tapped a dude out once, but they didn't count it as a loss. I threw this guy in the head and arm once this one was in high school wrestling. I flipped him forward, snapped him forward, head and arm, where you have his arm stuck like this.
Like right next to
their face, and you're outside squeezing here, and your other forearm is squeezing their neck like this. You're squeezing like this, and you drag them out under their belly. And they can't breathe because this arm is choking this artery and your other arm is choking that artery, and they just start going out. And I started doing that, and he started tapping on the mat, and the ref stopped it, pulled us off, and then he was red, and he was trying to fight me and shit. He was so mad. He's like, "You fuck, he was choking me!" Like, all pissed off. And I looked at my coach, Bartlett, and he was like, "That's like legal. That's fine." I was like, "Okay." And they kept us going. They stood us back up. That's some bullshit because I didn't secure a takedown yet. I had just dragged him out. So they stood us back up and we go again, even though he tapped. That should have been a win.
Yeah.
And then he just started headbutting the shit out of me. He kept headbutting the shit out of me. Like when people get super angry in wrestling,
They just are arrogant.
They just start pushing their head into your face and they try to like just fuck with your face. The face is the disrespect spot for sure. And when you're on the ground, there's this thing called the cross face where you rip
you rub
your forearm like because you can't put your hand or anything, but you can put this and you just scrape it across as hard as you can right across their face. You can just keep doing that and it's just disrespectful. Like they're just fucking with you. I feel like the equivalent fuckery of that for jiu-jitsu is covering your mouth and nose. Sometimes people get on top of you and they can like mount you and then they just put their mouth.
That's all they do?
Yeah, and they will just start taking you. Or if they're behind you, like back control, and they just reach over.
That's bullying.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's like, that's not, but it works.
Yeah.
I mean, it works. But then it's like if they do that, you should be able to bite them.
Are you going to fight them though? Has it done to you? Has it been done to you?
Just like jokingly. Like just like for a moment. Like just fuck around and rolling. But never like in a series where we're like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. You're gonna kill me.
You just like look at it and just like do that shit again. And make me feel like a girl, rude. I don't like that.
I'm sure jiu-jitsu guys probably would get heated about that if their partner kept doing that. I'm not much of a jiu-jitsu guy. I did an era of jiu-jitsu at Portland.
Yeah.
But then I did a little bit here at Family Boxing for a while. But honestly, I think I just feel nervous that I'm gonna like bust my knee or something because I have busted my knee before now. And now I'm like, fuck, that's like the way to go. Plus, I really love boxing. I don't know. For me, I like striking more.
Yeah. Rather than grappling.
Yeah, it's just more fun. There's more to me when you hit things. It feels like there's such a satisfaction to it. That's like more brutally primitive or something. I don't know. But jiu-jitsu seems like the key one to actually come out on top.
See, I've never tried anything like that before. Like I've hit a punching bag, like the heavy bag. Excuse me. I've hit a heavy bag before, but like I haven't really done any classes or I never been to like a fighting gym or anything like that before.
Oh yeah, it's ever since that girl beat you in wrestling, you're like, fuck that.
I don't know. It's intimidating, dude. I have wanted to try CrossFit though, and go in there and like could take classes and try to do something like that. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do some boxing sparring tonight at Family Boxing, and I mean sometimes when you spar, sometimes you get nervous. Like you're like, fuck, what if they hit me? You know, they're going to hit me. What if someone rocks me or something? I don't know. But you just have to get to a point where you have to say, you just got to be tough. You got to say, well, if they hit me, they hit me.
It's just like, I'm
going to hit them back.
You can go to a fighting gym and you're not going to expect to get hit.
Yeah, just accept it, but you got to get yours in too. That's all you got to think about. Get mine in.
Yeah.
Because then it's a fight. Then it's a fight. And a fight is a fight, you know?
And you've done the smoker before too, right?
Yeah, I've done the Buhl smoker. Yeah. I'm going to do another smoker.
Are you?
Yeah.
Because are they age groups or the weight classes?
Weight classes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the last smoker,
dude, you're not gonna fight like some like you have to be a certain age to join though.
Yeah, I think they ask you what your credential. Well, it depends. I don't know what they do at the Buhl one. They didn't really. I don't know. I fucking took that fight on a week notice, and I fought the coach, the guy's coach who was coaching They came from like Idaho Falls. And they were like a boxing club, and there was the coach was like coaching them the whole day, big jack guy, and then he just puts his gloves on. He's the guy I'm fighting, and he was good. His footwork is really good. It made me realize where my flaws were a lot because he beat me. And that was the first time I ever got rocked so hard that I felt my legs get like wobbly.
Really?
Yeah, and that put not like a fear as in like I'm scared, but like a caution to me. That was not good. I was super out of shape because I took it on a week's notice because Fred's like, hey, would you want to? Yeah, he's like, hey, you want to do the smoker? And I was like, sure. So I'm like, whatever. I got some training, so like it's not a big deal. Maybe I'll fight some farmer who has no training.
Dude, you did not get lucky at all.
I got a fucking coach. The guy he's been training in MMA for a long time. His kid was boxing in the smoker.
Did he just come with the smoke, or was he at least playing with you a little bit? He just jab.
No, he was trying to kill me. He was trying to throw it, but I hit him good. It was a fight. It was by decision at the end. But I felt myself get rocked. I felt we were both fatigued at the end. We both just at the end just were fucking exhausted, grabbing onto the ropes. this next smoker I'm going to do, I'm going to be extremely in shape, and I'm going to be more relaxed. I'm going to do what I want to do, what I do in sparring. I'm not going to be just trying to survive, trying to be defensive because I'm scared about my thing. I had this sparring session with this guy, Dan Kona. He trained with BJ Penn in Hawaii, and he's a scary dude. Oh, dude. He came to family boxing, and he ended up getting kicked out of family boxing because he fucked a guy up, gave him a concussion. But me and him started vibing because we were both veterans, and we started bullshitting and talking for a long time. And then we ended up in the cage, and he's a fucking big like islander dude with huge sausage fingers, fucking cauliflower ear. Think of like a Stephen Mejia with like 60 more pounds and just like thick and just the big, thick, big boy, with like cauliflower ear and all, just seeming like a very scary presence of a fighter, dude.
Yeah. Been in the gym for over a minute. He's been in the gym for a minute.
He's good. I rolled with him a lot. He's so fucking good at jiu-jitsu. So we did a lot of jiu-jitsu together for a while, rolling. And then we hung out, talked about veteran shit for a long time. And then we ended up in the cage, and he's like, let's spar. We'll just, no gloves even. We'll do palm like slaps to the head and body shots. He would punch my body shots like this though. Boom. And hit like this. Yeah. But I was super bruised about that. But we get in there and we start going, and he fucking hit the shit out of me with this club of a hand. And I was like, dude, I don't know. This was after the smoker, after I had got my legs wobbled and shit. And I was like, dude, I don't know you. I don't know if you're going to like actually take care of me as your partner, sparring partner, or if you're just going to fuck me up. So I don't really trust you. And he's like, dude, you're going to be okay. It's okay.
Oh, you told him that?
I stopped it and told him that because you got to have trust with your partners.
Yes.
You got to believe they're not going to just beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to, we want to get better together, and I'm not here to hurt you. We want to train tomorrow too.
Yeah.
You know that, but if you don't know a person, maybe they'll just fuck you up, especially if it's in their court because they're better than you.
Yeah.
So you better be careful with who you train with sometimes. And anyways, I told that guy that, and he's like, dude, I'm not going to hurt you. It's fine. It's just a hit. You can take it. He's like, trust me. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And I was like, but it sounds crazy.
You could take it in two different ways there.
I took it the right way.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're right. I fucking killed that fear that I felt in that smoker after I got my legs wobbled, dude. That moment, I was like, I'm getting my whole intention after that, if he's going to hit me, he's going to get hit trying to hit me. And he would come, dude, I would fucking sink some in on him. He rocked me a lot, but I was stand and fight. Like, we had to fucking go. And I felt great after that. I was like, that's what I need to fucking do. I need to just fucking stand, like, accept it.
Be fearless. Be fearless, basically.
Yeah, fuck it. You're going to hit me, I'm going to hit you.
Yeah.
Let's see who can take more hits. But just accept you're going to get hit.
I love that.
And that's what it takes, I think.
You said you're going to train tonight?
Yeah.
But that's boxing, though.
Yeah, some sparring.
I would do jiu-jitsu. I would try jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, does boxing is more scary to you?
Fuck yeah.
Getting hit in the head.
Yeah, getting hit in the face and getting hit in the head.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu is good. Yeah, grandmas do jiu-jitsu.
Huh?
Grandmas do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can be calm and take care of each other and wrestle. But it still is super effective and dangerous. Mm-hmm. But like that's how controlled and careful you can be if you want. Or you can be a crazy motherfucker that's just fucking rolling everywhere, back, and back. Like some people get to high crazy levels.
See, and that I've always wanted to try something like that and like do something different besides like the basic workouts and like go and like try something that's outside of my comfort zone too.
We should go start at Alliance together.
Dude, I would do jiu-jitsu with you. I would do it.
Because they got like a gi system going on. I was wanting to go try them out.
What's a gi system?
The one with the coats. They wear like the coats, belts. And that's seems useful because in winter times and almost all times we're wearing clothes. So it seems useful because the gym I had came from was 10th Planet at Portland, and they did no gi, which is like you just wear like really tight clothes. What are they called? Like spandex.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Rash guards. That's what it's called. It's like what surfers wear.
Yeah.
A rash guard. Yeah. So it's super slick. And so all your holds require you to actually grab a body part.
Rather than like clothing.
But then when you're in the gi, it's like a karate suit, You can grab clothing and twist it and pull it and use it to choke people and do things and grab leverage by grabbing clothes. And in real life, you're probably going to fight people with clothes on. Unless, I don't know, maybe guys, some dudes, if you're going to fight an asshole, assholes usually take their shirts off, actually.
Their shirts off real quick. Dude. That's true.
Yeah, so honestly, maybe you should train no gi.
We had this guy press us at the Rouge one time. It was me and my buddy Manny. And this guy was like coming over and talk to like the girls that we were with at the time.
Yeah.
and this guy was just being rude. He was like in this wife beater, and he just kept coming over to talk to her, and the girls kept saying, hey, no, we're good. Like, we don't want to dance. We don't want to drink. We're good. And he kept coming over. So Manny finally said something. He's just like, hey, man, like put his hand on his chest and like kind of pressed him back a little bit. He's just like, dude, he said they're good. Like, go away. And the guy was like, you want to fucking go, bro? He's like, you want to fucking go, bro? And like, he like puffed his chest up real quick. And then within like 5 seconds, I swear to God, in the middle of the Rouge, dude, and on the dance floor too, just shirt off within 5 seconds.
What? Superman style, dude.
I'm like, whoa. I'm like standing next to like Manny. Manny's standing here. He's just, dude, do something. Like, do something right now. And then the girls like came over, broke it up, like pulled the guy. Just get the fuck out of here, dude. And I was just like, where did that even come from?
So honestly, though, think about it though. Think about all the coolest characters you can think about in the movies that are like badasses, like James Bond. Would you ever imagine James Bond about to get into a confrontation and just ripping his clothes off? That's like such a fucking trashy move, honestly.
Fuck, dude, it's
I'm gonna get you. Like that shit is just it looks cooler if you keep your composure. Like if a dude is like in like nice clothes and he kept his composure.
I agree. It's just like, I want just one real quick one real quick, and just like, whoa, dude.
Have you seen? There's a video of this guy Joe Schilling. He's a Muay Thai kickboxing champion guy, and he runs into this drunk guy in a bar. Someone got a video of this drunk guy like doing stuff, and Joe Schilling trying to walk by him, and the guy like gives him lip, and Joe Schilling turns to him and just boom, boom, just with 2 punches, super quick, ba ba, like that, cross hook, and that guy just flies to the ground and fucking out.
Just done. Just
yeah, dude. Before he even knew what the fuck was even gonna happen, it was fucked up. Honestly, like Joe Schilling probably shouldn't have just fucking hurt people like that.
Especially if you're a trained boxer, you can't be just going out and knocking people out, dude. You gotta have some composure, some
you have
restraint.
To, but you theoretically. But what kind of people are like, I'm gonna fucking fight people for a living? That shit is crazy already. Like, what kind of people do that?
The crazy,
the people who want to punch you in the bar, they'll fucking knock you out.
Problems is just like, say one more fucking word. I swear to God, dude, I will.
Yeah. But the thing is, usually when people get really good, then they usually become nicer because they don't have to prove. They don't have the ego like gangsters. You know, like gangsters a lot keep their chest puffed out. Have to try to show their presence of how tough they are by physical. You have to overcompensate a lot, I feel like, with your physical presence.
Yeah.
But like a George St. Pierre or Khabib Nurmagomedov, you know, like the most dangerous people, John Jones.
But they keep their composure and
they just laugh at that probably and just keep doing their regular life because they're like, you're a joke. You really want to step into my world? That's what their mindset is like.
I bet they see it as weakness too, because like most like gang members have what, like a weapon. Like, like a
that's
gun.
the actual problem though.
You know, that's strength, right? Yeah. In their world, and like guns in their world is like strength.
Yeah,
and
you're right. The gun is the ultimate.
Completely different world. So like, in regard to that, like you can train as much as you want. Basically, it's just like it's not going to stop a 9mm.
Exactly. Yeah. So fuck, just don't get into confrontations.
Yeah. It's a different type of scary. I feel like.
Yeah, I see so many videos on Instagram of just fucking people getting put out.
I follow this page on Twitter, dude. It's fucking crazy. It's about like shootings, stabbings, and like robberies.
Oh shit, like that. Make you a lot more self-aware out there.
And
like,
it's crazy what's out there, dude. Like what I was actually just talking about this with my sister the other day. I was telling her about how secluded we are to like so much violence. That violence happens here, but how often?
Dude, can you bring that microphone a little closer?
Yeah,
just scoot it like this closer to you, so you don't have to be uncomfortable.
No, you're good.
That's good. Yeah,
but there's not a lot of violence here in Twin Falls in comparison to like a lot of other places.
Like Chicago.
Yeah, dude. And like when I watch those videos, it makes me think I'm just like how lucky we are to live here in this little small town. You know, we complain about like how big it's becoming and how it's growing. Yeah. But I would take this little town sometimes over going to like a bigger city. Yeah,
it's just about having a community vibe.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And respect goes a long ways too. And wherever you're at, I feel like respect is a big thing wherever you go. Like when I was in Hawaii, I was traveling all over Hawaii. If you had respect for like their culture, like you've traveled a lot too. I bet you can concur to that and kind of agree in a way.
for that other cultures have more respect?
No, just respect in general. Like if like you go to another country and disrespect their culture, then they're gonna look at you and frown upon that. Well, like respect anywhere you go, as long as you hold respect for the culture and the places that you're at. I think it's gonna put you in better situations throughout your life.
Well, that's actually reminds me of one of the laws of power from the 48 Laws of Power. I finished that book. I don't remember, but I remember this one for some reason, probably because of my travels too. It relates to me. But when it's like, when in Rome, do as Romans do, and kind of concept, because when other people see that someone from somewhere else is accepting their cultures and wants to be like their cultures and tries to fit in with them, it validates their own culture more. Like if you take it into a political sense, like if you have a liberal and they have a conservative who used to be conservative and then they go liberal, they're more proud of that person to say, look, like that's our spokesman, like or a super conservative person has like a gun wielding black man. You know what I mean? It's like, look, they're on our side. You know what I mean? Like it validates you more when you have the opposing tribes come over and want to conform to you.
Yeah. And this is vice versa too. Like I was watching a video the other day and it was about like this guy, he was traveling the world. I think he was in Africa or someplace in Africa, right? And he's going into the shop and he can speak fluently in their language.
Oh, yeah.
And like it's choppy fluent, right? But like 3 people in this little tiny shop and he starts talking to them in their language and immediately boom, boom, boom. 3 necks just break, dude.
Oh, is it this white kid?
Yeah, it's just
a YouTuber. It's like Zhang. Oh, I know who the fuck.
Yeah, and
he's his name. He does Chinese normally. He just started with Chinese.
He does. I think he knows like 16 different languages or something like that. Yeah. Right? And like
he has a language learning like program that he sells now.
Does he really?
Yeah, but I don't know about it. He's a horrible marketing person. Honestly, his shit doesn't look good. I'm like, dude, no, you're just a protege. I'll just think you're a protege because you know a shit ton of languages.
Yep. But I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. What about that with the African thing?
But they were just like break their necks, right? And then it's like in regards to like your conversation about like what you were saying, how they mix cultures, and it validates them for like being. It's us trying to learn the cultures. It's like learning sign language and talking to a deaf person.
Dude, I definitely get way more respect because I'll dive down the rabbit hole of the language before I go. Whenever I go on these trips, and then so when I run into the subjects of the people I'm meeting with, I'll talk to them in their language as best I can, and they instantly are more accepting of me because they're like, oh, this guy's trying. Like he actually says shit in our language. I don't know. I feel like people discount Spanish people around here if they don't speak English. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But honestly, sometimes I'm like, why the fuck you don't speak English by now?
That's the no. I'll actually go into that a little bit about my grandma, dude. My grandma's been here for years, dude, years. And I yell at her. It was a few years back because I don't know Spanish. Like I'm starting to learn it a little bit more in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Enough to yell at my grandma. Enough to tell her like, why the hell have you not been speaking English this whole time? Because like there was one time we were at a barbecue or a carne asada.
Yeah.
Right. And everybody there, my entire family was there. And everybody was speaking in English, and my grandma was sitting there kind of just twiddling her thumbs because nobody was talking to her. And she left the party because it was like at her house. She like left and went to her room. Well, like we went and asked her, like, I was like, what's wrong, Grandma? And she's like, nobody's talking in Spanish. She's like, nobody's talking in Spanish and nobody wants to talk to me. There's no point in me being out there.
Oh my God.
And I was like, like my tia yelled at her. She's like, get back out here. Like, I was like, there's no reason for you not to come and hang out with the family, you know? And like a couple weeks later, I asked my grandma in Spanish. I was like, why don't you speak English? And she's like, because I don't. That's her excuse. Like she's to the age to where like she shouldn't have to. And that's basically what she said. And I was like, Grandma, I was like, everybody in your family, all of like your kids and all of your grandkids speak English. And I was like, then why don't you want to try to speak English to like learn the language so you can talk with everybody? And then she kind of pulled it on me like you need to learn Spanish. And I was like, I'm trying. Yeah. I told her, I was like, I've been trying to learn and I know more Spanish than you know English. So it's your turn to try. And like, she's like kind of like wide open because I said all of this in Spanish and she's like, okay. And then, so now like I try to talk to her in English every once in a while and it kind of turned the tables a little bit. So like she doesn't feel as left out because like I kind of put in perspective, like, oh, you've been here 40 plus years and you still haven't even tried to learn English. So.
Pero sabes qué? Todos tenemos Google Translate.
Google Translate is clutch.
So it's not a problem. And dude, my in-laws are Bosnian. They speak in Bosnian all the time. And when I go, like when I'm on these international trips, I'll be sitting and sometimes they'll just revert to their language in conversations. But guess what? My goal is whenever that happens, I focus on trying to figure out what I think by trying to pick up on keywords to figure out what they're talking about. And then also body language tells so much. You can kind of get, and even sometimes, dude, it's weird. I'll be laughing at jokes that so I was in Turkey and they were all talking in Turkish and we were already all laughing for a good time for like these cross conversations we were having in English a little bit. But then they had gone to this Turkish conversation and the energy was like still there where they had said these jokes, even the way they were delivering these jokes they were saying, it made me laugh like genuinely. And I was thinking, why the fuck am I laughing? I don't even understand. But for like, you can get into the same frequency with everybody.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, like think about it this way, like in the English language, like you have different punctuations and like different ways you enunciate things, right? It's the same way in any other culture. It's just a different like spoken language. So like it's the same. It's just, like the way it surprises you doesn't surprise me, I guess.
It's just it's funny because it seems you like people laugh when other people laugh, even if you don't even know what the hell's going on.
You know what that reminds me of? Just Ty Svanenberg right away. I don't know why.
Why he always laughs, always laughing whenever you would be laughing.
Dude, I swear. Because like something will happen and like there will be like a group of people and like somebody will tell a joke and like you'll laugh and he'll like grab you by the shoulder and be like,
oh my God. Yeah, oh my gosh. I can just imagine his face.
like it's the best because like he's the hardest laugher. He'll like, I love it because it's like pure like joy. And
he's such a fucking bubble of a man.
Little goofy guy, dude.
Yeah.
I love him.
He's so great. Yeah, me and him did a lot of hiking together. We climbed Mount Bora together.
Really?
And he's too dangerous, dude. I would fucking shit in myself. Have you ever climbed Mount Bora?
No, that's what I was going to I want to do that. I want to do that this summer, actually. That was on my bucket list for this summer. I was waiting for it to cool down a little bit, though.
That shit, you don't want it to cool down too much. But actually, I don't know, maybe.
Because once the elevation goes, it's going to be even colder. I get it, but...
So there's this park called Chicken Out Ridge. Have you heard of that? Mm-mm. Chicken Out Ridge? It's like... When we were there was this Air Force unit there from Out and Home also climbing it. Mm-hmm. And at that point where Chicken Out Ridge starts, there was a shit ton of airmen chickening out going back down because they didn't want to do it anymore. Because you have to like scale these rocks, dude. You're like grabbing boulders and scaling over a cliff on a ridge line, dude. There's no trail anymore. You have to climb over these rocks, like mounding over it and stuff.
No.
And that wasn't even the bad part. At least that part you can hold on to shit. The scary part, oh my God, I shit myself thinking about it. There's a snow ridge. There's like it's super steep like this. But there's like this pile of snow on it that goes across before you can get to the next ridge part that actually is a little more flatter and you can walk that to the rest of the top of the summit. And that the only way you cross that snow ridge, there's a little path that people have made going through the snow. And that shit's slippery. So you got to stick your walking stick into the snow next to you and try to just keep walking. And I would still be sliding like I was shitting because if you slip off the skinny little tiny thing, you're going clear to the bottom, fucked up. It's a long way down.
Dude, that does not sound like fun.
But guess what? Tyson doesn't even need a walking stick. He's just like,
I bet Tyson just
yeah. He's a fucking Sasquatch. Dude. He's from there. He's like, oh yeah, I grew up doing this.
He's like, come on, guys, keep up.
Seriously, dude, perfect walk impression.
He does that little like when you like turn around to see and you go backwards those 2 steps and then turn back around. He's making it look easy, dude.
Yeah, literally. I was shitting myself. I think Tice actually helped me there at the end on the return because I was starting to get a little freaked out on the snow. I was starting to get freaked out and he's like, "Come on, it's all right, let's go."
My sister's boyfriend Dylan has done it like a couple of times. And he was telling me about like 2 different paths that you can take.
Oh, really?
So there's like one path that you can take that's safe and not as hard.
Oh,
and then there's
really?
one path that you could take that's like extremely hard. And
but is it faster?
And it's I don't know because I don't know much about it. But
it's got to be faster.
He could sit here and explain the whole thing to you, but he definitely told me. I know for sure that there's 2 different ways that you could take. And then it's probably faster because you're scaling mountains.
Yeah, you go straight to it. Just point A to point B. Let's go.
He said, you're going to fall. all the way down, and it's far. I'm just like, that makes me really want to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, no. Are you scared of heights?
I'm not scared of heights. It's just I'm scared of
Falling.
death. I would say.
Well, you'll be flirting with it on that trip, I think, a little bit.
Hey, but that's my favorite thing to do is flirt with death, because then you feel a little bit more alive when you get past the scary parts.
Dude, a couple months ago, I was eating out at dinner, and I was talking to Isaiah like this across the table, and I was saying something, he was saying something, I don't remember, but all of a sudden the whole world stopped because I fucking started choking on something, on some food. I breathed something in, I started choking. I couldn't
Like a real
real choking where there's no talking, there's no gulping, you can't even swallow.
Air?
There's no more swallowing,
air?
there's no air. Everything's off. Boop. It just stopped.
How'd you get it out?
So I didn't even make a commotion. I just instantly stopped and I just got into the zone of focusing on the problem. Isaiah didn't even realize, he's like, dude, you were in the zone when I came out of it. But I just stopped, I guess, and I just started focusing on that problem. I tried swallowing, wasn't working. I just was like, holy shit, what am I gonna do? I gotta figure out this problem before, how long until I make a scene? You know, like, I'm fucking choking, help me. But it was the scary part, dude. The whole world went dead silent. Also, it's like the volume went down on the world. Gone. It went dead quiet, dude. The whole world went quiet. Ooh. And all of a sudden I just heard this high-pitched ringing, and it reminded me of the ring I heard during DMT that like blasts you into infinity, dude. Like this.
Oh no way.
And on DMT, that shit like it's like that until it gets so loud that it feels like it shatters reality. Like it's like this frequency sound thing. But that's what it reminded me of a little bit, because I heard this. It just went dead silent in the room, and I'm sitting there trying to get it, and then all of a sudden I heard this ringing, like super tinnitus, dude. It was like super tinnitus, just ringing in my head, and I was like, "What?" Got it out somehow, like came out, God, and then I focused on Isaiah, and he's like, "You good? You were focused." I was like, I was choking there for a second. I thought I was gonna die for a second.
I love how we're laughing about it. We're just like, you almost died, but it was funny.
Yeah, because you didn't. But that's just scary, dude. I'm careful swallowing now.
I can just see it now. Like you're just taking a bite and you're just
yeah, exactly, dude.
And then this is the focus part. Just do I tell him? Do I not tell him? Do I tell him? Do I not tell him? Like I could see it, like, dude, with the whole thing right now.
The weirdest part about it though is how the room went silent. That's so weird how I couldn't hear the room anymore. Like it went silent.
When you said that, I was actually in my head thinking about like because do your ears ever ring?
Yeah, I have tinnitus.
Like both of mine. Every once in a while, like I get that same exact sound, like, but it's just in one of my ears, and it's the same thing. You just it starts from little. And it rings out. And
I make it sound stupid with my stupid that's not how the frequency is. It's beyond. It's like
I just said it like that because I didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Super high pitch. It's like you get this fucking thing. It's fucking
and it hurts it hurts like towards like the end. You're like, hey, it's all right, that's enough. Stop that.
Yeah, quietness, like quiet rooms and stuff used to fucking bother me a lot because of my tinnitus. I would be like feeling like a little bit of insanity. Mm-hmm. But now I'm just completely used to it.
I like fan noise. Like,
yeah, background. Something white noise of some sort.
A little bit of fan noise. Yeah, that's it. Like when I was in Hawaii, I got used to they're called croquet or something like that. Frogs.
Oh, really?
Because when we got there the first time, the night I got to Hawaii, like we show up, get off the plane, and we have no idea what the fuck we're doing. So we walk down to like this area. There's like this bus stop there. So we call these people that are like living on the island that are supposed to help us, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're on our way." So he drives in. It takes him like 30 minutes to get to where we're at. I was like, where the hell is this guy, dude? What took him so long? So he shows up in like this little tiny Ford Ranger, dude. This little tiny Ford Ranger with the back cab on, you know, and it has like little flap in the back that doesn't latch. So it's just like,
oh, what the fuck?
Dude, like the whole time. And it started raining when we were there, but it's warm as shit. So like it's really nothing. But
this is like an excursion. Who was this?
It was me and my buddy Manny. We went to.
Oh, this is your buddy Manny coming to pick you up in his car?
No. It was.
Who's the truck?
His name was. Tanya and.
Oh, is this like a friend?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like a family friend that was there to like on the island to assist us if we needed it, right?
Oh, okay.
Because they were neighbors to where like the house that we were living in. They literally were like down our pathway. Down the road, and like this is their house.
Okay.
So they were there to kind of assist us and while we're there and show us the ropes.
Oh.
They picked us up. We're on our way, and then we finally, we leave this the little tiny city area, and then we get to like this jungle, literally a jungle. Like these trees are huge, and I'm like, oh my god, where the fuck are we? I thought this guy's gonna come murder us because like as soon as like we left like town, there's no lights, and we're in the middle of an island, so like there's no like there was moonlight, but it wasn't. It was weird. It was dark. It was just pitch black. You could see the moon, but it wasn't illuminating anything.
Like tree cover.
Yeah. And like, cause like,
holy cow,
when we were there,
dense.
we were just trees, and we're just driving through trees, and eventually he starts slow down and it turns a right.
How hard would it be to walk through those trees? Like how tight?
Through the trees, I didn't try through the trees because there were so many trails that you could take.
Yeah.
Right. So you take the trails instead because it's going to lead you to where you need to go faster. Because if you because you could walk.
But do you think it would be a bitch of a walk to go through that?
Yeah, because there's like
it's brush like crazy.
Like
I've never been to Hawaii, so I don't know.
Tree after tree after tree after tree after tree after tree. They're like
it's like Jurassic Park. Just imagine Jurassic Park jungle.
Basically, yeah. Some of them are huge. Some of them are little. Like it just depends. And there's green everywhere.
Wow.
Like they say it's like one of the most fertile places. Like there's this guy that was showing us something. He's like, yeah, this is an avocado tree right here. And he goes, grabs a branch, snaps it off of the branch, and he just sticks it. He sticks it right in the ground. And he goes, I bet in about like 3 years, there'll be an avocado tree right there. And I was just like, what? He's like, yeah, that's how fertile the ground is here. You can just plant anything anywhere and it'll grow.
You're making him sound like a hillbilly a little bit.
He was.
Oh, he was? Oh my God. Okay. There's hillbillies in Hawaii?
Yeah. Cause like there's a lot of white people in Hawaii. The people that were helping us were white.
Oh, okay.
They're from here originally, but
really?
they moved. They packed up everything, moved all their stuff away as soon as their kids kind of got old enough to get out of the house.
Were you there after the fires?
Before the fires.
Before the fires.
I was there before the fires, and that was on the island next to us.
Oh, okay.
So I would have been lucky even if I was still there.
Oh.
Back to my story.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. Turning right into like this path, and like I'm telling you, this is like a scary movie path, like because all you see is headlights in front of the truck, and it's just trees on both sides, and it's just this little dirt path. And then he goes to turn down, like there's no path. I'm just letting you know, like there's dirt, and then it was just green area through shrubs, and he goes in and he starts pulling through it, right? And I'm like, where the fuck is this guy taking us?
Damn, you go on 4-wheel drive with that Ford, huh?
Yeah, dude. And then we finally pull up to like this house, like a little 2-story like shack kind of. And we called it the tree house because when we get there, by the way, we have no expectations of the house. We just know that it's a free house that we can live in, no rent free.
Whoa,
right?
sketchy.
And that's why we went there. We're like, we have a house to live in, dude. All we need to do is find jobs. All we need to do is find jobs. We're good. And then we get to the house, no power, no water. No, like nothing, dude. There's no running utilities in the house whatsoever. So we're just like, we're tired. We flew in, fucking waited forever. Finally got to the house and we're going to bed. So we figured out our bed situation, went to bed. And then the next morning we were figuring out how to fix the house up. Like what could we do to get water? Water was the first thing. So we figured out how to turn on our water. It's down a pump down low.
Whoa. So wait, how long are you planning on being there?
We were planning on staying there as long as we can.
Just like living. We're going to live here now.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Saved up some money, went down there. We're going to get some jobs down there, but it just didn't end up working out like the way we wanted because of the house mostly. But we fixed it all up to the point, like after like week 2, there was a propane tank we had to refill to send gas to the stove. There was a car battery that was shot. We had to replace the car battery. The pump for the water for that was busted. We had to replace that. So then finally fixed those 2 things. Then we had running water for at least like the sink because it wasn't enough for the shower, right? So we would just shower in the rain outside because it would rain consistently all the time. Like, and it would be funny, dude. We'd be sitting there and we'd be like cooking breakfast, and like after like I think it was like 3 days. It was like 3 days we didn't eat like hardly anything because like we couldn't figure out how to like cook anything, and like we were just like eating like snacks and stuff. Yeah. After day 3.
What was the main consumption during that time?
I think like we had like bread and like jam, peanut butter.
Oh my God, damn! You're giving yourself like break punishment. Damn, bread, use bread and water. That's all you get. Good source of nutrition. Damn.
Day 3 comes around, we figure out the propane gas tank, figure out the stove. We made like eggs, pancakes, like bacon, sausage, like just a stack full of things. And him and I we forgot to get forks and like silverware at first, so we were just like
Oh my god! You
Felt
guys
like
should have just.
cavemen,
Why
dude.
didn't you guys take camping gear over there?
But because we didn't have anything on the plane, you don't take anything on the plane. We take our clothes and what we needed, right?
Oh, yeah.
The essentials, and then we got everything there at the like local stores and stuff like that. Because we're like any big store was like.
Who'd you
super
fly
far
with?
away. My buddy Manny.
But like what company?
Who did we go through? I think we went through Alaskan
Airlines. Because you should probably get a carry on. You could fit some shit in there.
I had a bunch of clothes. I brought everything I needed. Like,
Little mini tent, or not even a tent, just maybe a little mini stove. Well, you can take that through
no way.
carry on. Yeah.
We're just thinking like, hey, we're just get there. We'll get some stuff when we get there.
Dang, that's hardcore.
But it was fun. Dude.
That sounds fun. That sounds like a fun time.
After
Such
days,
an adventure.
yeah, dude. Try to buy a car. Couldn't buy a car.
Yeah, how did you get to town with that excursion to get to fucking there? Like, how did you get back?
You want to hear a story? This is there was one day, I think, because day 3 we were lined up to buy a car, right? And this guy was like, "It's like $650. Well, perfect. We'll buy it. We'll go and look at the car at like 3 o'clock. Let's say 3 o'clock." And we texted the dude like, "Are you ready? We're gonna go meet you. Where do we meet you?" And the guy's like, "Oh, I already sold the car." And I was like, oh, come on, dude. So he fell asleep that night, and I was getting stir crazy in the treehouse. And I was like, dude, we're in Hawaii. Let's go just venture out. Fuck it. And we packed a bag. I had like my brother's military bag. It was like just jam packed full of like just a bunch of stuff because we didn't know how.
Like a green duffel?
Yeah. And we didn't know how we were gonna get back.
Yeah.
So we had packed that bag full, and we had our umbrellas with us, dude, because it rained all the time. And then we just set out. We ended up walking for like an hour and a half before we finally found this bus. Drove by us, and it's like didn't stop. We're like, oh, dude, I think we can wave those buses down. And eventually, like another like maybe like 45 minutes of walking, get like a truck, a bus does pass us, and we're like waving it down. It stops, picks us up. Finally, get on this bus. It takes us to the nearest bus stop. And then we asked the lady, like, where do we go to get to, like, because we're trying to get to, like, the other side of the island because we hear it's, like, 80 degrees all the time, not raining all the time, and it's beautiful. It's, like, what you would think of Hawaii.
Dude, right? I wish you had a GoPro during all this.
Oh, I should have, huh?
What the fuck? Just leave it on. Who cares if it's cinematic? Just let that shit on. That would have been so cool. This sounds so fun.
It was fun. It was a good time. Took us to the nearest city, and then we had another bus take us to the nearest city to there. And then, because we had to take 3 buses to finally get to the other side. And it took us an entire day's journey. So we started in the morning. I woke up and I was like, let's go. We're going. Packed our shit and we left. And finally got to, like, because, like, and, oh, by the way, we have no power. So our phones don't work hardly because they're dying all the time. We had to borrow power from our neighbors to charge our stuff for the night. And then we tried to go into town. There's no outlets. Anywhere. No public outlets because the homelessness is a problem in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, because it's fucking paradise. Because
it's
easy to be a hobo there. Dang, like exactly. California.
There is no public outlets there. We went to a Starbucks, man, and there was 2 public outlets inside of Starbucks. And they were being used by one person.
You guys were hobos now.
Basically.
You
at
were.
one point, we were just...
It's just because you're cute. That's why you guys are hobos. Like, look at these kids.
We slept in 2 parking lots, dude. So the first night... We finally get on the big bus because we were taking small bus, and then we finally get on a big bus to take us over to the other side of the island. And we're like, I hit that bus. It had AC in it.
Oh,
I hit that chair, dude.
Oh, wow.
Backpack in the front of me like this.
And little things.
I looked over at Manny. I was like, dude, oh my God, dude, that feels so good to relax finally because we had walked the entire way and then get to the other side of the island. And it was already dark. We're like, well, we're here. Like, now what? We fucking slept in the Target parking lot because like we need to. I was like, we need to find a secure place where we can sleep, where there's like some security, like whatever.
Yeah,
just in case something.
And where in the Target parking lot did it have that?
It was like this little bushy area where there's some grass, and it was like tall bushy, so you can't really see inside of it.
Yeah.
So we kind of like just burrowed in there.
Yeah.
And then put our backpacks down and laid our like jackets down, sweaters down, and we kind of just fell asleep.
Isn't it funny how just a little bit of concealment makes it feel like privacy? It feels like it's your home now.
Yeah, dude.
It's just a little layer between you and the public world.
But it was good. But Manny was so anxious. He had so much anxiety. And I was snoring because I fell asleep within like 10 seconds.
Damn.
He's like, dude, your snoring kept me up all night. I was like, no, it wasn't just my snoring. Dude, you didn't gotta lie.
Is Manny as adventurous as you, as hardcore as you at it?
I wouldn't say as hardcore, but
because I can imagine you're the one who's leading most of this adventure. And he's like, all right. And he's like, let's go. What the fuck are we doing now? We're at Target. It's nighttime. Oh my gosh, dang. Was there bathrooms anywhere?
Just depends. Some places had them, some places didn't. And most places didn't have
Were there gyms? Gyms anywhere?
We tried. It was like we were like week 2 in, and we went to Hilo. And we went to find a gym because we found some workout stuff. Like there's like this curl bar at the house and like a couple like weights sitting around the house. So we'd like do like makeshift workouts, like hold the thing above your head.
Yeah, and then supplement your muscles with bread.
Whatever, right. No, we had food after. Remember?
Oh, you got the stove going.
After the stove,
you carried a propane. You know the game Rust,
dude. No,
you don't know Rust. It's like Minecraft kind of, where you start with nothing, you're naked, and you gotta like start building the world around you. You're like, you got a stove.
That's exactly how it felt, dude. But it was such a good experience. It was such a good time.
Probably tapping into that primitive nature
a little bit, especially when we were showering in the rain. That was pretty cool.
Isn't there's something just so romantic and so fun about the nomadic life? Mm-hmm. About that hunter-gatherer lifestyle. Being
free, I think.
That Native American way where they just went with the land, followed the buffalo. They weren't sitting down building a home, trying to get a job as a banker. They were all equal underneath the sky, and they were just trying to get food.
Mm-hmm. Everybody played their part, too. Like, because it was a village, not a town.
Yeah, a tribe.
Not a city. And it was a tribe, and it was this little like area that they had. And it's just like, go get what we need. And then they'd keep it because like you can't store that. You can't store food. Right, it can only last for a few days or a few days or whatever. So then they would they literally hunt and gather, and that was their job. I wouldn't mind that.
I mean, you hear all the time that people were running away from Western society and joining the Native Americans, like Ann Parker. That's one who made Quanah Parker, the last Comanche chief, Crazy Horse. Yeah, he's a half white, half native from the chief. He was born of the chief, and Ann Parker. She ran away from the West and went and joined the natives. It's like a common theme, like Dances with Wolves. Have you seen that?
When was this? Was this a real thing?
This is a real thing, yeah.
When did she leave? Like when was this happening?
It was like early 1800s, right when everything started shifting from the way of Native Americans to you're now a part of our society.
Like when Lewis and Clark was like starting to come over. Or
I'm not sure the exact year of Lewis and Clark. That's later than that, I'm sure. During the time, because Quanah Parker was the last Comanche chief. Because that's when all the tribe shit kind of fell apart. And you're now like, now you get like food stamps of Native Americans vibe. Here's your money,
Gotcha.
But I got one of my best friends from the Marine Corps. He's a Native American. So I go visit him and they're all just like, they do get paid a lot. They get their fucking money in. More than us anyways. Are you Native at all?
Mm-mm.
Oh. You could pass as Native, I think.
You think so?
What are you, Mexican?
Yeah.
Spanish? Durango? Like, are you a Mesoamerican?
So I want to actually do my like ancestry thing and like trace it back to see where I actually come from. I did look up like where my last name come from, its origins from like where my last name is, and it's from Spain. Like, so I would consider myself more a Spaniard Mexican, but I think my family's from Mexico. Right?
Honestly, Spaniards are dope. Spaniards and Portuguese, they're gangster as hell. Circumnavigating the world first, finding new lands first, ruling the seas, and figuring out we live on a globe. Pretty gangster.
That would be pretty cool.
That's pretty gangster behavior.
I always think about those time eras, like I'm at like the pirate time eras, like where you're just like, I'm gonna go fuck shit up, and I'm just gonna go sail the seas for the rest of my life, even if I die doing it, even if it's illegal.
It's an adventure. That's like the adventure we all seek deep inside. The biggest adventure they could do back then is like in the 1600s, jump on a fucking ship and go out and discover new land. Do you know who Magellan?
No.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, have you watched the movie Perfect Storm?
Wait, is that the one
with
Mark Wahlberg?
And George Clooney. Why we just rewatched it? It's like a movie from the 90s. It's about a fishing boat captain and his crew going out into like go fishing and bring out some fishes because they're in a drought. Well, anyway, there's like, it's based off a true story. It's like when we had 3 hurricanes side by side, and they end up meeting together right in one spot.
Whoa!
And the perfect storm. Like
Yeah.
meteorologists, like I'll never see this before in my life, and he's like, this is the perfect storm. Like he's like getting hard over this. Like meanwhile, the fishing captain's about to sail. Like he just got on the other side of it, just pulling
Of
up,
one of them?
pulling up all three of them. He's on the other side of it. So the storm was like right here. They're like right here. And they're fishing like right here. So they're pulling up all of these fish. They've got a gold spell. You know, they're pulling up all this fish. On their way back, they're about to hit. They have to go back through the storm. They decided to either wait or go through it, but they ended up going through it and they all die.
Oh shit! They're greedy little bastards, man. Like, let's go through. We gotta process these fish.
Yeah, because they're all broke and like they all want to come back because like they haven't been getting any fish lately. So like this is like their biggest haul. They're gonna be like they're gonna get bank from this haul.
Yeah, and I wonder if as they were drowning, they were thinking, I wouldn't mind being poor and alive.
Yeah, but it's a really good movie. But like that's the same thing is like how intense would that job be? Because like if you watch the movie, you know like fishing captains, fishing boats they're crazy, dude. There's so much stuff to do.
Dude, the most insane story to me is Magellan.
Tell me about it.
Fernando Magellan, a Portuguese man, ran away from the law, goes and joins proposes to the Spaniards. I'll find the gateway between the Americas and the other side, because they only knew it was 2 years after Christopher Columbus, like in 1690s, and he was like, they knew there was land over there. They hit the land, but they didn't know if you could go onto the other side and connect the world. And Magellan was the first person to go around the whole world. Yeah,
and like find out that it's round.
To find out that the whole world connects
and it's not flat.
Yeah, so he was looking for a straight. Yeah, it's not flat. He was looking for a straight in the middle where he could cross like Panama Canal style, but he ended up going all the way down to South America, dude. And his story, they started out with 5 ships, hundreds of crewmates. The thing that comes creaking back into Portuguese waters at the end of this journey is, I think, 15 men and just one ship rotted to the core. They fucking he goes through mutiny. Magellan doesn't make it back. He dies on an island fighting a bunch of natives. It's a straight crazy story, dude. Mutinies, running from the Portuguese authorities down Africa, crossing the thing. He thought when he would so they hit the Americas and they start going down and they like capture giants. They call them giant people in South America, in Paraguay. They said they're like 10 foot tall people. And they were trading with them. They were on canoes at their ship and they were trading with them and they were like, hey, and they put handcuffs on one of them. And the handcuffed fucking giant was like, oh, it's nice bracelets. They didn't know, they were too dumb, I guess. And they didn't know they were getting captured. And then when they found out shit hit the fan, they start killing each other. The giants disappeared into the fucking jungle or whatever. And no one saw them again. And they kept that one. But then that ship went away and no one saw that ship again. And they had also there's like a UFO moment when they started off after a storm where there's like a red glowing ball in the sky in front of their ship. That is written down in their records that it was a good omen. It was a good omen. They all took it that this ship, the voyage, was going to be good. And there was like a fucking a light followed them. And then they go down.
Was it the moon?
No, they call it like a burning ball. They said it was like it was on fire. And they start going down in the 1690s. Crazy, right?
Sounds like the sun too. Also, like if you think about it, these guys just didn't know what things were. Well, if astrology wasn't a thing, and they're just like. Yeah.
No, they count it as there's a name for it. It's like they count it as a electrical phenomena that happens after storms.
Okay.
And then they say it's an electrical phenomena. And it's like a good omen if you ever see this like burning ball in front of them. You know, that's like an omen for sailors. That's a good thing because I don't know, it happens after storms is what it's related to. Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen it, but that's it's a phenomena. So I'm sure maybe it's documented. I don't know. I didn't look into modern science of it, but I was just reading the book, going through this book about Magellan. And anyways, they get to South America. They go down South America and they go through this Magellan Straits and get to the Pacific Ocean. And he thought it was going to be a short trip after that, but it was the biggest stretch of it's like a third of the world. It's more than any land put together of Earth. The Pacific Ocean is so fucking big, and they thought it was gonna be a short trip. They ended up going across that, and that's its own journey in itself because they get scurvy. You know what scurvy is? It's a vitamin C deficiency, and it's so deep that your teeth start falling out first, your gums start bleeding, your flesh starts falling off, and they would literally every morning you have to come out for a call. Everyone line up. And even if you had scurvy, you still had to be up there, and people would be getting scurvy so bad that because they were starving. They thought it was going to be a short trip. And the people who lived were the people who would eat rats on the ship because rats store vitamin C in their bodies. They didn't know this. They thought it was just like a thing. And rats became currency on ship. Like, I'll give you a rat for this because it was food and they thought it would keep them alive. Anyways, yeah, people got scurvy. They would throw their bodies up in the morning on the ship. If they couldn't get out of their bed, they'd drag them up, toss them there, and everyone would look at their mutilated bodies as they're dying and flesh is falling apart. Because on a ship like that, you better pull your weight. Otherwise, let's just chuck you off because you're taking our food and you're just in the way. Mm-hmm. It's a fucking hardcore life, dude.
No wonder only 15 people got back, dude.
Dude, right? And then they ended up landing in the Philippines. That's why there's so much Spanish influence in the Philippines. And then they go down through all the islands, and that's when Magellan ends up becoming super religious, trying to convert everybody into Catholics, and ends up dying on a beach fighting a bunch of natives.
That's a wild ass story too. That's crazy.
You'd think God would have helped his cause out a little bit.
Don't pull God into this.
This is my segue because right before we came in here, we're reminiscing on his old dog because he's petting my dog Bosco, German Shepherd, and his German Shepherd had just recently passed, a few months back, I think, right?
Yeah, back in February.
And you're like, dude, I straight thought I was petting Jasmine for a second, and then you said something. You're like, how could there be a God if? And then I was like, hold that thought. Let's go get on the mic.
I know what you were fishing for.
Okay, so let's continue there.
I was to say, if there was a God, I was just like, how could he create or she, right? How could this person create something so beautiful to us? Like the human beings, they call dogs man's best friend, right?
Yeah.
And I believe that. I believe that if you truly get like a fur baby or like a dog that you truly bond with, like you get to understand like the purest joy and the purest love that there is out there, right? Because it's undivided attention, undivided love. Like nobody else matters besides like you, always. So like it's a different type of love, and like you get that type of love, and then he only gives you like a limited time, or she only gives you a limited time with that type of love, and then it strips it away. I also believe that everything happens for a reason, and those reasons like are to teach us lessons. And like the good things in life, like the best things in life aren't forever, and you got to take advantage of like the time that you do have them. Like I used to complain about hair all the time, everywhere, because Jasmine just shed like crazy. I used to complain about it, and I was like, God, you just shed so much, girl. And then it got to the point where she was starting to get older. Her hips started going down a little bit, and like she's just starting to go downhill a little bit. And I was just like, there's gonna be one day like I won't have the hair anymore, so I don't mind the hair anymore. And like I started saying that, and like I think like a year after I started saying that, she like passed away. I think it took me like a month and a half to vacuum my car. I finally vacuumed it though.
You didn't leave a little clump right there.
Nah.
Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, I dread the day that Bosco's day to move on. I'm just trying to give him as much good times as I can now. Mm-hmm. But to address, you said, how could God make dogs? To address that first, you think God made dogs because dogs stem from wolves, and man shaped the wolf. The wolf used to want to eat our faces off, but after hundreds, thousands of years of genetic manipulation of breeding, we made cute little chihuahuas that love us, and maybe we bred all the wolves that loved us most. So we kind of made this thing that is perfect to us.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. You think about it.
Because a wolf, God made a wolf, and that wolf will rip your fucking head off.
That is true. I think if the God is a creator, you got to think if God has created everything too. Like in the belief of like, otherwise, like if I believed in like a higher power, like a soul, like pushing us forward and like with life, and your soul will go on to something or something else or somewhere else, and your physical body will stay in essence, and it'll go away. I don't think maybe that we're not from here, not from this planet, and we're actually from another planet, but that doesn't still, even if we're from somewhere else and not from here, that still doesn't take out the fact that like something else exists that created all, right? So something else has to be out there that created all.
There's a creative force.
Right? And I believe that because there's multiple different religions around the world, And at the time when the religion was first starting to like come forward, there wasn't social media that you can just see across the world. You can't just like look into like social like studies about like Asian culture from like South America, right? But they were still doing the same exact thing in a different place, just in a different way, studying a different god. And it's everywhere of some type of culture. Like the Norse gods believed in like the thunder god and like the mischievous god, and like I believe that it's just natural occurrences that happen into like in life, like phenomenal occurrences that happen in day-to-day life, and it's them trying to justify what it really means. Like thunder god, lightning storms, the god of thunder, the Thor. Like, but most of the Norsemen lived by the sea, so they got to see like the brunt force of most storms that came in. That we are now meteorologists can look at and be like, hey, there's a storm coming. We should probably evacuate this area. Vikings were just like, nah, we're gonna stay. We're going to stay and we're going to go through this because Thor will let us through this. If Thor loves us, we shall prosper. We shall go through this. Right. And it was like everywhere, not just Norse mythology, like all like these places all around the world had different beliefs and different gods.
Yeah.
I think higher power is out there. I just don't believe it's a white man sitting on top of a sky.
Yeah. That makes me think of John Marco Allegro's book, The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross, where he deciphered the Dead Sea Scrolls. He's a linguist that deciphered the Dead Sea Scrolls. And he connected all these words that were in the Dead Sea Scrolls from Qumran. They found it's the oldest version of the Old Testament that they have found.
Okay.
These kids were playing over in Israel and they were throwing rocks into these caves along the Dead Sea, and they threw a rock up into a cave and they heard a clatter. Psh! They're like, what the fuck? They went up there. And there was all these scrolls. There's a few different sites they found later on with these preserved vases with scrolls. And it's the oldest stories of Genesis, the oldest stories of Deuteronomy, of the Old Testament. And the Book of Enoch is in there. And that's how they started determining how important books were, is how many of these scrolls were preserved. So Deuteronomy was one in there that had many copies preserved. And Genesis, many, many copies. And a random one, Book of Enoch. Book of Enoch is dismissed by most Bibles, except for the Ethiopian Bible. The Ethiopian Bible had the Book of Enoch. And people disregarded it. I thought that Bible was wrong. But Enoch's Noah's dad, who walked with God.
Okay.
And anyways, John Marco Allegro, so yeah, he goes and deciphers these scrolls. And he connected these rooted words to the parchment. The way linguists do, they're matching the words with the historical, trying to find the roots. Are those headphones hurting your ears?
No, you're good.
Okay.
I'm just adjusting.
Okay, good. Well, anyways, he ended up tying the root of God and all these words to these primitive considerations, I think, of that people all looked at the sky, thunder, because these words connected to thunder and God's semen. They refer to the rain as God's semen, and thunder is God's voice. And so he thinks that they concluded that in primitive religion, we would look at the sky, we would hear the thunders with the lightning, and they would think, oh, what is that? It's like, sounds like a voice. That's God talking. And what's all this water coming down? It must be like his breath or something. And after the water came down, there would be mushrooms that would come out of the ground.
Stuff that would grow.
But mushrooms didn't have seeds. No one planted seeds there. That's what was so amazing about it. After God came and yelled at us, and it must be God's semen, because even look at these things. They look like a penis. It looks like a dick. It juiced out, shot a bunch of liquid out, and these things came out of the fertile ground. God impregnated Mother Earth and made these things. And he's showing that these are a sign of his penis. This is God's penis. And they'd eat these mushrooms and
they go
blast off.
Wild fucking trip. Like, these are God's fucking... This is God's dick. And I just sucked it.
Yeah, and that's what they think, dude, that was God. That fucking mushroom was God giving me a gateway to talk to him and see, and they can start making these religions from tripping off of God. And that's how it's interesting, because going to Thor, going to these things, but John Marco Allegro's interpretation of primitive religion, the original beginnings of how everything started to become, why do we all start thinking about God? Mm-hmm. It's a pretty interesting take.
Which is crazy, because like, who was the original person that was just like just chilling somewhere? And like, this was before like they believed in all of these religions. And it's just like, I wonder what's out there. And then started like believing more in like, how did we get from like there to here? That's the main question. That's the big question. How did we get from there to here?
How much do you think the visual of the night sky of the cosmos matters in being a scientific explorative species. If you were an intelligent species on another planet where there's a silt that covers the stars and you can never see up, do you think people would look up and think the same questions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and can't see past but it's also, you got to put it in perspective too. You can't see past a certain distance on this realm, on this plane. If you're looking on top of a mountain range, right, looking down, looking out, you can still only see to a certain amount. So you can put into perspective that it's not that there's something past there or there's something holding the veil there. It's just maybe your physical eye just can't see that far. That's how
about the cosmos.
That's how my brain just thought.
Well, I feel like, I mean, on the mountaintop it's daytime, but if you're on the mountaintop at nighttime on top of the Hawaiian Observatory, you'll see all the cosmos.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
And I hear you. Whoa, we're on a fucking rock flying through space. Whoa.
Yeah. Okay. In that perspective, I hear you.
Yeah, but so if you're in a fucking planet that's gas covered like Jupiter and you can't even see the fucking stars.
Ooh, yeah.
Do you explore up? Do you even consider that you're in space? That you're in a universe?
See that? Where did we even try to start exploring up in the first place when we haven't even explored down yet? We took all of this science and all of these all of this money to put into investing to go to space, but we haven't even explored how much of the world inside of our oceans right now. And I feel like if we can go to space and build those rockets to go to space, we could probably build something to go down there more.
What's so fascinating about the Earth's core to you?
I don't know. The ocean always has been fascinating.
Because scientific consensus usually is that the Earth's core is magma.
The core, yeah.
Yeah. And so you just want to keep digging to find what's
not out there. We're always just discovering new stuff every day.
Because you can look up and go, holy shit, there's worlds out there. There's no planets down. There's no galaxies down. They're up.
But that's not here. This is here. We're here. This is us living on this plane right now. And if we can discover new things right here that we can physically see with our eyes, rather than two people seeing it and sending us back so-called evidence of it, But
this is the thing. If a meteor hits an asteroid, impacts Earth, a super volcano goes off, we're fucked.
Yeah.
If we stay here. If we dig down, we're still fucked.
I don't want to dig down, just explore down.
Explore down. But if we explore up and we can become interplanetary, we got a base on the moon, we got a base on Mars, and something fucks up Earth, we'll be okay still. We can keep going. That's why there's a benefit to go up.
Yes. I'm stuck in the past. I guess we need to discover this more, dude.
You want to find more dinosaur bones. Do you believe in dinosaurs?
Yes, in a sense.
There's a movement going on that people don't believe in dinosaurs.
I believe in dinosaurs, yes, but I don't believe that these guys.
It's the Christians. Christians are against dinosaurs.
I don't think they could put it together the way that they did. I don't think they look exactly the way that we think they do. They might be a little.
Are you talking about the computer animations? You're angry at the computer animations?
No, I'm the T-Rex.
Okay.
Have their studies shown that they found a full T-Rex put in place in one spot, or did they just find from different spots and say, I think this goes here, or is it noted that let's say what's that?
Do you feel skeptical that they haven't found a put together skeleton, so you think they're lying about things?
Not necessarily lying. I think they
archaeologists,
they existed.
Anthropologists, right? Those fuckers.
Paleontologists.
Anthropology is humans?
I immediately went to Friends. I was like, what is Ross?
Yeah, paleontology. Are they all like NASA? They're all behind by the government and they're making up lies about their studies?
I am not that far into government conspiracies, to believe that kind of stuff. But I do believe that we don't have all the knowledge. We don't have all the information always. And I think it's protection mostly. I feel like a lot of, if we knew everything, if the public knew everything, I feel like it's an overload of information. It's like if you were to come and buy a mattress from me and I just started talking and just giving you information about all of these mattresses, and all you wanted to do was lay on one, but I'm overloading with all this information and you're just like, okay, dude, I don't want to fucking talk to you anymore. I'm leaving. Right. But it'd be more chaos if they actually if this real life situations.
I think it's good that if people exchange information together, then they could figure out what shit has actually got weight. It's just lazy people that I just want to lay down. I don't want to have a conversation. I don't want to expand my ideas and mind and perspective. I just want to go on autopilot. Is that all right?
I also feel like you can get access to information. Information's out there.
What the problem is, there is information out there and everyone gets onto information, but I think the problem becomes the Dunning-Kruger effect.
What's that?
So that is when you start to learn.
I gotta pee.
Oh yeah. All right. Pee break. Let's take a break.
Dunning-Kruger. What is it?
We're gonna pick up Dunning-Kruger. Dunning-Kruger.
Dunning-Kruger.
Muskie, you want to stay out there or you want to be in here? I'm shutting this door. You want to go? Make your choice now.
No, dude, stay in here.
Shutting. Okay. Sit down. Relax.
Come here. Come here, dude. Definitely getting another one. I already know what color. I already know what the
black German Shepherd.
What the name is gonna be, dude.
Okay, Dunning-Kruger. Oh, hey, here's the cold brew.
I already got some.
Oh, you poured some already? Nice. Let me get some too. We're getting wired. Legal cocaine. I'd imagine.
I'm gonna get an all black one. All black German Shepherd. I'm gonna name him Sirius. SIR.
Yeah. For the star?
IUS. For Harry Potter's Godfather.
Not for the brightest star in the sky?
Not for the brightest star in the sky. I'm a nerd.
That's another cool thing.
Anybody knows me. I'm a really big nerd, especially with like Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, you loving the Harry Potter series?
Yeah, that's probably like one of my favorite. I watch it like once a year.
See, okay, let me pick up from the Dunning-Kruger effect real quick.
Yeah, okay.
Because this related to we were just talking outside.
Yeah.
And you said people who pretend to be smart is annoying or something. And I said, are they pretending or is it the Dunning-Kruger effect?
Okay.
So think of a graph. The x-axis is knowledge, the amount of knowledge. The more knowledge you get, the further down the x-axis we go this way. The y-axis here is confidence, how confident you are about the topic. Okay? So confidence, knowledge.
Okay.
The Dunning-Kruger effect says, as you gain knowledge, there's a spike that goes up and you feel confident, very confident. You just got exposed to this new knowledge and you're super confident. But then as you learn more, there's the valley of despair where you realize how wrong you are. The saying is, you know enough to think you're right, but not enough to know that you are wrong. And so you go down to the valley of despair, you learn more and you realize, oh shit, I didn't know as much as I thought I did. And then you come back up a slope as continuous studies go on throughout a lot of time. You develop a nice base of actual confidence in the topic.
And it's like a slippery slope because like when you go up and down, right? When you get to the back end, when you start learning more and getting to your curve, I also feel like underneath that is like a timeline of like age as well. Experience comes with knowledge at the same time. They co-incur with each other, right? Like
time. There's time. You need experience.
So there's a time when you're 16 years old, you're arrogant. You know everything though.
Yeah.
But in reality, how much do you really know?
Yeah,
you know? And looking back at your 16-year-old self, you're like, you're a motherfucker, man.
Dumb.
It's like, what are you doing? Like, do something else like that. Don't do that. You know, it's
but
like,
it all shapes who we are. Then that's
but age experience comes with time. Same thing with confidence because like you lose your confidence because your age goes down too. But like because you no longer have that drive to like be like what you said. When you're in your 20s, you want to get that hot bod, you want to get the girl, you want to get the money. But like that's your confidence, and you also want to do what? You also want to learn more at what 30, right? 30, you start wanting to like learn more knowledge, and that's when you start peaking in like the knowledge part. But then it gets to the point where you're just like, fuck, man, I've done it all. I know it all, and then you just stop learning more. And then instead of keep going up and keep going, you just like I know what I need to know. Then you get old enough, age keeps going.
What would make you think you get to that level? You know, I told you those numbers of you read a book a week. 3,000 books, but you think you think you have all the knowledge of 38 million books in the Library of Congress?
Not necessarily. I would say like that's like with experience and time. Like
that sounds like the Dunning-Kruger effect. Like that person's still on the slope of going, oh shit, I don't know much, or I know so much. Look at me, I know.
Yeah, you know.
You think you're out of the Dunning?
I know it. I
had a little bump here. That was my Dunning-Kruger moment.
It's like he knows it all.
Yeah,
right? He knows it all.
That's why I feel like one of my favorite quotes of Socrates is, "All I know is I know nothing." And that's where I think the level is. Damn, there's so much shit to learn. I barely know anything. I barely know anything. There's so much to catch up on.
But only with what intrigues you. Only with what like. You don't have to learn it all because you're never going to learn it all. But if you want to learn the things that intrigue you, that surround yourself by, you have enough time to do that.
I think the most fascinating one that we could all relate to though is who are we? What are we? What is a human being? That's the ultimate question that philosophy, religion tackles, and that I respect Duran for. I just finished this book by Will Duran, one of the famous historians I was telling you about. And he was saying he believes that religion and philosophy are kind of symptoms that were created from humans coming together into society. When it went from individual competition through the hundreds of thousands of years of Darwinism. This is going off that perspective because I know a lot of religious people instantly turn off to the sound of Darwinism.
Yeah.
And that after hundreds of thousands of years, the human being eventually became a tribe and eventually became a village, and they were a community, and they had to figure out how to not follow those barbaric primitive instincts that they had developed from being a hunter for 100,000 years. Mm-hmm. And one way that kind of connected and set morality for a lot of structure in the civilization is religion, is kind of his point of view. But he respects it a ton. He thinks it's super valuable. There's a quote he has that he's saying, to be dismissive of it is to be dismissive of hundreds of thousands of years of knowledge and wisdom passed on to each other on how to cohesively live amongst each other. Mm-hmm. It's ancient wisdom that survived generations and generations and generations and generations because it's valuable.
Based off of what you just said, do you think like overpopulation is one of the reasons why it's like going downhill and is no like, or for example, we'll take like crime for an example, right? Like let's do violent crime. And do you think violent crimes were happening in like when in back up in time and like we're in a village setting or like a tribe setting? And like it's only family and it's only like the ones that you love all around you. Do you think there was still violent crime at that time, or did that kind of occur over time as you start to get currency, you start to get money, you start to go away from like like you say primitive skills, and over time you go away from that because we want to build a better society. But within building a better society also bleeds out like the sin, because you want to do better, but when somebody does better, jealousy comes up within like a man, right? Let's say a man sees like another man has money and a woman and a family, and this guy has nothing. Yeah. Then jealousy concurs, and then he wants to kill that man. Violent crime. Boom. We have, as human beings, have created those things.
Do you think jealousy comes from consciousness?
I think we have created those things.
But chimps get jealous.
Of what? Of the same thing, though.
They get jealous of similar things. Unfairness.
Because we're territorial animals in a sense, right? Do you think the Indians really wanted to give the land to Lewis and Clark, or did they just take it? Like,
yeah, well, you asked on the question of did they do violent crimes back in the day before they had currency? I mean, the ancient biblical story of Cain, Abel killing the brother. It depends. What do you call a crime?
Like at that time, it wasn't a crime.
That
right?
a crime?
Because we evolved from a different train of thought.
You can just look at the Amazonian tribes, like the people that live in the Amazon that are still fucking acting as tribal communities,
like places we can't go.
I read this book called Savages. This writer who went into the Amazon and like told their story and saved them from the oil. He actually, people always get mad when I bring that book up. I had brought it up with some friends a couple times, and they're like, savages? Why do you call it that? That's rude. And I'm like, but those fuckers were savage. They're crazy, dude. They're straight coming together. Hey, I fucking hate this guy. Tonight we're all going to meet up with him and put a fucking spear in his back. Yeah. And they all gang up and boom, boom. But you had to get everyone's consensus together. You had to go get the boys.
That's real life still till this day in some parts of the world.
That's straight up mafia. Yeah, that's mafia. The powers turn. It's just a power struggle always.
Within the tribe, they're just like, this motherfucker took my girl.
You know what it is?
I know he did.
This is the most ultimate reflection of it. Survivor, CBS. That totally is literally just pulling out human behavior. Dude. Natural behavior. So real.
This guy, I watched majority of those seasons. One guy pretended that his grandma died.
Was it Russell?
It was...
Is he the one who pretended to be in he's a punk guy at the beginning, huh? He's an early season guy.
I fucking hate him, dude.
But, I know what you're talking about.
He's like, don't vote me off.
And then in his interview, he's like,
my grandma just died. And he's like, those suckers believed me, dude.
I haven't seen that season, but I saw him on a coming back season. Mm-hmm. He like came back and everyone hated him.
Everybody's like, don't believe him.
Yeah,
Don't believe
he's a villain.
He was gone in like 2 weeks, like a week, like the first week.
On the one where he came back.
Yeah, he was gone so fast. Dude.
Yeah, everyone hated him. I didn't understand. We just see the flashbacks.
And everybody's like, we hate Johnny. Johnny was his name.
Oh, you got
his
it.
name was Johnny. He's like, we hate Johnny. Like, don't trust Johnny. Like, last time he lied about his grandma being like dead. There's no way we can trust Johnny. We need to get him out of here as soon as possible. They got him out like that. Survival of the fittest.
And it comes to that when you get your boys to say, hey, I don't like fucking Johnny. He's in the fucking bed tonight. We're going to put a spear in him.
Yeah, it's just like Julius Caesar.
Same shit.
Men with power. People become jealous, dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. Like Julius Caesar got stabbed in the back, bro, by like one of his generals, right? Like it was one of his senators or something like that. It was one of his politicians, and like they're like, dude, thank you for one of the best empires ever. Like, dude, you were the best general and leader ever.
Well, I think they love Augustus for that more than Caesar.
Who was he?
So
was he the
Augustus
actual?
was the one who was giving before Caesar, and was everyone got their fair share. Everyone loved Augustus, and then Caesar came in and fucked up the whole system.
I don't think so.
Oh, really?
There's another reason why. I don't see.
what is it?
I don't see like Augustus's palace in Vegas, dude. Do you?
Yeah, true. Yeah, who really wins? I was having this conversation about who is the greatest of all time: the person who has the best stats, or the person who's remembered forever, who has is legendary, who's going to be better, Khabib or McGregor? Everyone's going to remember McGregor for a long time. He's a superstar.
It's the Shang Dynasty or Alexander the Great. I would say between those two would be my choice between top two like
that cold brew's
dynasties, like men of power, right? I think, like I said, who was the leader of the Shang Dynasty? It was it Shao? It's not Shao Kahn. That's Mortal Kombat.
What the fuck, Shang Dynasty? You're learning ancient Chinese history over here?
No, I just know that it was like a crazy time period. Like,
what's the Shang Dynasty? Which is that like a special era?
You want me to Google it right now?
Oh, you're talking about it. I don't know. You fucking brought it up.
I don't know that much about it.
Oh, okay. Wait, let me transition into these questions.
Go ahead.
That are involved around in the topic we're talking about, actually. I had prepared for you today.
Oh, yes.
I know you love getting deep, so I had prepared some deep questions. Let's dive down. All right, Angel. Look at me in the eyes. No, I was just kidding. Do you believe that our intrinsic, let me restart. Do you believe that our intrinsic motivations, like greed, love, and ambition, are still the same today as they were centuries ago?
Yeah, I would say yes. In a sense of like the way that makes you feel, because we're talking about emotions mostly.
Well, specifically greed, love, and ambition.
Greed, love, ambition. Those are feelings. I feel like those are feelings, and when it comes down to feelings, you can't control them. But the things that pertain outside of those feelings, the things that make those feelings happen, I don't know the words for it, but like that's what's changed over time. You know, different things make different people jealous, and like at different time periods, because technology wasn't a thing at one point. Cars weren't a thing,
but we're the same human being that we were 3,000 years ago.
I think in a sense of feelings, yes, but we evolved through the mind of becoming like smarter over time, or we think differently over time. But like the feeling of jealousy.
If you drop off a baby to the modern day baby back in the day, will they grow up to be? What's the difference? The way they'll be?
They'll be the same of like the time era that they live in. Because you're a sponge. You're a sponge. You adapt to like the environment that you live in, right? Mm-hmm. So in that case, like all of the emotions and stuff that you feel today, someone else felt that same exact way in a different time era. Sorry,
just under different circumstances.
The greed and like the love and everything they felt was a little different, but in different perspective wise. Like loving back in like the 40s when we had to write love letters. Across like
it's a different experience,
and instead of just texting all the time,
but it's the same route,
but I feel like it's just a little bit deeper with something like that.
You think you envy a little bit those experiences? You think there's more depth to them?
I do. Yeah, I think also like without technology, without like phones and stuff like that, I feel like you create real bonds in comparison to like what was the feeling that you had like with your homies, with your friends riding bikes down the street when you were in middle school? Like you felt free, because when we grew up, we didn't really have phones. We had like the flip phones barely.
Yeah.
Like growing up, the razors, you know, so it wasn't even like social media and stuff. So we actually got the childhood that we deserved.
Yeah.
You know, and that
But
feeling,
I feel like every generation complains about the younger generation's experience.
I'm not complaining about it, but I'm just saying we didn't have as much
because
technology.
Our experience, we value it so much that we see that they have more digital experience, and that is a little lesser, it feels like.
And it's not a negative thing whatsoever, because it could be a positive thing. There's positives in it. It just has to be regulated to be positive. I guess.
Just imagine if me and you are having this conversation, but on FaceTime.
Yeah. Like a Zoom
It's
call.
just not the same thing.
It's not the same.
It doesn't feel like we're actually here having a conversation. It feels like
I agree.
body language is a lot.
Next question.
Okay, yeah. Hold on, Face ID. Okay. What do you think is the underlying reason societies repeatedly resort to war? And what lessons can we learn from this cycle?
I would say, like, the main saying that a lot of people hear is just like history repeats itself, and I feel like we try to learn from it, but it ends up being the same thing, and it leads down to like the things that you said, like feelings, like emotions, and they get in the way of like what actually needs to be done and said, because substances that occur. Like,
Could you bring your mic a little closer? Just scoot it towards you. Scoot it towards you. There, that's easier.
And the things that we want and need that other people have and we
Yeah.
don't have, we need them, right? They're essentials. Like, let's say oil, for example. I don't think oil is an essential, but it is in its own way. It absolutely is, because there's oil goes into more than just like your motor cars. It goes into everything else. It could synthesize and put it into a lot of other products, like your lotions and like your sunscreens and stuff like that.
But even before this, so oil is the what? Because it's why. What is the reason? Underlying reasons societies repeatedly go to war. So over centuries, we always have gone to war. Why do you think we always go to war?
Resources, like over things.
Is that greed, or why would resources? Oh, it's competition. Why is there such a deep competition? That's it. Like, we still are living in that Mother Nature cycle of the hawk swoops down and grabs your ass.
And it's a primitive way of thinking. It's a primitive way of thinking, because if you think of it in a non-primitive way and in a broad sense, and you open your mind up, and everybody had the same thought process at the same time, and we were to try to push towards world peace rather than violence. And I think we can actually get beneficial areas there, but then you get like all of the other emotions like put in play there, and then
I think it sounds theoretically like a better way to think, but I think being defensive is probably better in this universe, because if you put your guard down, you die.
There's too many individual personalities, because you don't know where anybody's from. Like, they could have had the worst.
At the root of it, there could be a fucking civilization out in space somewhere, and we better be better than them.
We have to be, because if somebody reminds me of a Lil Dicky song. It's like Pillow Talking, well, by Lil Dicky, and he's
Pillow talk. Is it
Pillow
like that?
talking with a bitch?
Oh no, I don't know.
I mean, pillow talking with a bitch, or something like that. But he's talking about like aliens, and he's like, I'm not saying I don't believe in aliens. I'm just wondering why God can't. Why didn't God create only us? He's like, why can't God create aliens too? And like, he's just like, and if they come here, are they going to be dumber than us or smarter than us? Or are they going to show up like just fucking up our shit? Or are they going to ask us for help? You know, like, what is it? It could be either or.
And to be a species that goes intergalactic, it seems like you have to come from a competitive environment to make you want to be better, to expand out to the sea. Otherwise, like you said, what's the point? Let's stay down here and dig and have fun in the dirt.
That's right.
What's the point? You have to be competitive and being like, we got to get the competitive advantage on this fucking galaxy.
And what do you do first? You scout. We've had aliens come here before, extraterrestrial beings.
Oh, have we?
So. It's been said.
It seems like a lot of people had that experience. A lot of people saying they see that stuff.
It's been said over and over and over. But like, what would we do if we were going to go travel out to another place? We would scout it out first. We'd send a couple people, and then we'd send them out, bring back knowledge, and then we'd go back and then see where their technology's at, and if they're like above us, like, we're like, hey, we shouldn't go there. Like, they'll fuck us up if we go there. What if aliens just aren't there yet, and they're just like still building their technologies and evolving over time, and then eventually they're like, send a scout out. They send the message. They're like, they ain't ready for this. Let's go. And then they finally show up.
It reminds me of Fermi's law. You know the Fermi paradox?
Nope.
Where there's a great wall civilizations have to pass. This guy came up with this theory about why we don't see aliens, and a lot of science goes off of this paradox, Fermi. And it's you either get so powerful that you destroy yourselves, and that might be the great filter, or you learn how to become peaceful where you don't destroy yourselves and you use technology to go out. And that's the fucking great filter. There's some sort of great filter where people get really smart and then maybe an asteroid hits and poof, they restart. There's a fucking filter. And if you get to the point where you've got nukes, if you have power that can be used for bad, it could also be used for good. It's like you have just power. It's neutral. Like, I forgot who said this, but they said, I think it might have been Sagan, but it was that science is neutral. It can be used to make life great or to destroy us all.
Yeah.
It's not just a one-way thing. So, yeah, maybe if they are intergalactic and they can come check us out and see us, they are beyond that fucking competition, primitive mind, and now they're Cosmo tapped into the universe. Oh. They're like enlightened like a thing. Is that hurt your ears?
No, my glasses are.
Oh, your glasses. I don't know about the glasses life. That's why I don't.
That must be nice.
Yeah. That's gotta suck to have fucked up eyes, dude.
Dude, like, I feel like we didn't get shit growing up. Like, we got stuff, but my mom didn't take me to, I went to the doctor when I was 16, the eye doctor, when I was 16 for the first time. And I knew I needed them because I couldn't see far away. I started like going like this in classrooms, like sitting in the back. I'm like, fuck, I can't see. What the fuck? Because I used to be able to see like good. And out of nowhere, I just couldn't. It's like first time I like got a pair of glasses was 16. I was like, put them on. And I looked out of my glasses and I looked down the road. I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is how you're supposed to see? I looked at a tree and I was like, damn, you can actually see leaves.
Oh, so it's so gradual. You didn't even realize that it was getting bad.
Mm-hmm.
It just
like,
kind of fucking was like, it's bad one day. You're like,
time.
It's bad. But it wasn't like a wake up and you're like, oh, my fucking shit's bad.
Yeah, it was just slowly going. And it's still slowly going. Like, I feel like I'm getting blinder as time goes by.
And then you put the glasses on, you're like, wow, this is clarity. Holy shit. Because, yeah, one time I went to put eye drops in and I grabbed a bottle and put it in and it was eardrops for an infected ear.
Oh, no.
And it says, do not put in eyes on it.
Oh, no.
And I was like, as soon as it went in my eyeball, I knew it was wrong. It burned. Psst. I was like, oh. And I looked at it. I was like, oh my God. And I started figuring out what to do. And I looked online, Googled it. And it was like, rinse your eyes for 20 minutes under running water.
Shit.
And so I just sat there at the sink rinsing my eye forever. And I got a bad feeling in my stomach because I was like, fuck, I like having good eyes.
I would have done the same thing.
I'm like, I'm so dumb. I had good eyes and I just fucking broke them. But my eye's fine. It recovered.
You never know what you don't have it till you don't have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
my eye was a little blurry for like when I afterwards instantly it was blurry. I was like, oh, and it was like blurry. I was like, I'm fucked. Like when I choked, I got a lot of I'm fucked moments in my life for some reason.
dude, it's the same. Like that reminds me like one time like somebody didn't put the Tapatio lid on all the way. And like I just went to go grab it, and I was gonna shake it like this, like I just shake it like this, and the lid fell off fell off on the first shake, down, up, squirted, just right in my eye. Have you ever had hot sauce in your eye before, dude? It is the absolute worst thing in the world. Same thing. I just was like under the sink just forever, dude. Just like opening my eye just under the sink while I was running in there. And I thought I was gonna go blind. Dude. My eye wouldn't open for like at least like 30 minutes. Like it was just like. It shuts. I was just like trying to open it, and it like wouldn't fucking open, dude. No matter how hard I tried, I was like, I'm blind. It's gone. My eye's I'm never gonna get my eye back. But after a while,
that sucks.
It cooled down, and I was like, oh my God, dude, that was terrible.
Dude, I did that to Isaiah with I had a syringe full of Valentina when we were kids. And I pulled it up. I was like, "You open your mouth," and he opened his mouth, and I pushed it really hard to squirt it, and it squirted up straight into his eyeball.
That would hurt so bad, dude. I felt it. Never will do it again. Now I'm like so like cautious. Oh yeah. Ever since then, dude.
That's a fucking pressure too.
And like every time I get a Tapatio bottle, a hot sauce bottle, I always double check.
Good idea, dude. I was in the Marine Corps. You always had to get certified every year for gas, CS gas, and you go into the gas chamber, and they light this fucking thing in there, and you go in. You have to take your mask off.
You have to do that more than once.
Yeah, you have to recertify for that. Maybe it's every 2 years. I don't know.
I didn't know that.
And then you put it back on, clear it, and then you're talk, and then you leave, and you prove that you could do it. They go, "You good? You good?" Never. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And I went in there, and if you fail, you have to do it again. I went in there and I put my thing on, and I put it on to clear it. And there was a broken seal, dude. And I'm sitting there just breathing. I'm just breathing. I take my first breath, and it's just needles going down. I'm like, ah! I was like, oh fuck! I'm breathing not air. I'm breathing this shit purely. And I was like, oh. And I'm like fucking up, and I just tried to breathe as slow as possible. And they're asking people if they're good, and they came to me, and they're like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good," because I was like fucking up, because you're just snotting. Snot starts coming out, and your eyes are just crying. And they knew I was fucked up. But I told them I was good. And they're like, "Okay," and then they kept doing the thing, because you have to stay in there for a while. Usually they make you sing the Marine Corps fucking anthem too. I don't remember if we did that in that time. I just remember suffering through that thing, and we left. And I passed because I figured if I tell them I'm not good, they're just going to send me back in here. Mm-hmm. I'm already in here. I'm already in here. Yeah. So might as well just say I'm good and get the fuck out. Like I can do it. Give me a proper mask.
What's the recovery like that? Like after something like that, like how long does it take to recover from?
It feels like you have the worst allergies ever for a while. Like just like fucking splashing water, trying to get that shit off, and it feels hot, and you just got a runny nose like crazy, and you're get super clarity of your fucking chest and throat from burning.
Really?
It feels painful. It feels like it's stabbing you on the way down. It's weird. Yeah, when you breathe it down the throat. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Let's go.
Your dog's attacking me down.
What's he doing? Trying to play with you? I see the lights keep moving around. He's all wagging his tail. All right. In your view, are we currently in a period of progress or decline? What indicators shape your opinion?
I'd say a little bit of both. I feel like we're making the same mistakes as before, but at the same time, we have individuals nowadays that are just doing phenomenal things for the world. But like as a society as a whole, I feel like we're at a decline because you just have so many people wasting their time like doing things that are like crazy. Like I don't want to offend anybody here, but like a furry, right? Like for example, you have a whole society about like a whole culture on something like that, and that's it's so crazy to me that somebody would live their life in such a way. Yeah. And then you have somebody like Elon Musk using everything to their advantage, like building things that are actually going to be progressive for like the world to come, like generations and like
the thinking about humanity's future, like getting us interplanetary.
And it's always been individuals. It's always been individuals.
But no one gets eaten by wolves anymore. No one has to bring value to the table. You can, if you want to. It'll make you feel better probably at the end. What do you bring to society? But a lot of people want to be more individualistic and just do things that are for themselves. Because you can now. Life's easy.
And I feel like social media sucks people into like in so hard to like to where they're no longer themselves, to where they're trying to be like be like so many other people instead of being original and individual.
Yeah. Yeah, people say that all the time. You know what people always say? They always say I always hear people always, what you see on social media is not real. People always posting the good stuff, not the bad. But like, honestly, why would you post vulnerable shit like that? I hate the people who post themselves crying like, dude, my boyfriend just broke up with me. Get your shit together. Just post a picture of you smiling, please.
Side eye because they're really not crying. It's not real. Yeah. How many times have you ugly cried, like a real deep cry, like it fucking hurt you to your whole core, dude? And you're not gonna put a fucking
whose
camera
instinct is let me record this and make a post.
You're not gonna put a fucking camera in front of your face when you're ugly crying like that, dude. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's why it's weird to me that people say, well, people don't post the bad stuff. But obviously, it's an obvious fucking link.
It's an attention thing, dude, for sure. It's all attention.
Yeah, it's marketing.
It's all attention.
It's marketing. What do you want to be? And if that's a great place to market who and what you want to be. If you want to offer a service, you got a fucking mechanic place, get on social media and post mechanic shit.
I fucking agree, because like there's this one thing that I slide across all the time, and it's this guy he's doing transmissions. And he like has a timer because he fucking rolls through these transmissions. Like he just like has it all greased up. Like he takes them apart and he just go and just like quick. He has a GoPro on and he just just takes it apart super quick, right? And then he'll have like another video. You go to like the next video on his page and it'll be like everything's cleaned, oiled up, and lubricated, ready to go. And he lays it out on this like tin table. And then he grabs it. He's like, all right, let's go. And then he just starts just like boom, 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 just putting this transmission together. This guy has thousands of views and just like thousands of followers because people want to see that shit, dude.
Dude, people want to see a lot of shit. That's what I was saying. Like your trip on a GoPro, even like not overthought. Like, and it's honestly, fuck even what people want to see. It's like if you just post your experience, like cool experiences you have, and you post them up, or other experiences, because that's all anybody wants. We're trying to rack up experiences before we die. Let's fucking do things.
That's real.
And when you watch stuff, when you read a book, you feel like you're tapping into an experience. You are part of that experience. You witnessed it. You're part of it, and it's like you're adding it to the bank of sorts in a way. And so when you do some cool shit, just popping up a camera, if you're gonna do it, fucking turn that shit on. Like other people will think it's cool. Somebody will. Somebody will be like, "Damn, I wanted to see that. That's cool."
Which is actually, I had a couple customers actually tell me that it's like you should start a YouTube channel. Like before going over to Hawaii, it's like you should start a YouTube channel. Like a lot of people would watch something like that if you like just do that. Just record yourself while you're over there,
Dude. Yeah.
Which would have been perfect because like
even if you didn't post it, you just had the footage. One day you just look back on it, and then maybe make something.
one of these days I'll actually have to grab Manny and we'll hang out together because he has videos of like something we did. It was stupid, but it was good. It was funny.
Oh, it's illegal.
No. Yeah, we're making videos, like dumb videos.
Oh, really?
Like, for example, right?
Gay porn.
No. For example, like he would always like I would like, dude, record this real quick. Record this. So he'd like put it on. I was like, hello, mate. We're here with the Island. We're here with watching the Island Boys, and I just want to show you what we have in store for you today. And like just a
fucking around,
fake Australian accent. And like one time we found like a frog. I was like,
oh my god.
I was like, that there is an Hawaii frog. It's found in indigenous to this area. And the first time I'm gonna try to catch it and just like do something like that. And we had like 3-4 videos, and like the second video I did, I was like, hello everyone, welcome to Island Boys. This is episode 2. Here we got a snail. I found a snail. It was like this fucking big, dude, and I was like had it in my hand. I was like, we found a snail, and he's a little shy little guy. He won't come out of his shell. I was just petting him, like he was pretty cool. And then eventually I like put him down on a leaf, and then I was like, if you look here, if we leave him alone for a little bit, maybe he'll come say hi. And then he did. He like came out, and like it was like a Gary snail. It looked like a little Gary snail, like with the 2 eyes that go up.
Really? What?
Yeah,
the big ol' eyes?
Yeah, dude. I was like, that's pretty fucking cool.
What the hell? Dude, I'm just thinking you should send me those videos and I can make this a fucking story. That would be a dope ass story, dude, to post up.
We'll go over it and we'll see.
Dude, send it to me. Come on.
I'm not gonna send it. I'll show them to you.
Are you embarrassed?
Huh?
Are you embarrassed?
No.
Oh.
I think it's funny.
You just don't want, is it like you don't like to be public?
I don't know. Not necessarily.
I know some people, they just like have this vibe of being more private, like people like to be private.
I feel like I'm not a private person.
You wanted to start a YouTube channel though. You told me that a long time ago.
Yeah, I want to get out there eventually. I think it'd be pretty cool to do something like this. I've always been intrigued with since you've been just like posting stuff a lot, I've always been intrigued with like what you have been doing, and like when you got into like videography and like doing all this stuff with like the cameras and stuff, it made me even more intrigued. I want to learn how to get into it eventually. Like I remember like a couple of years ago, I even asked you. I messaged you one time. I was like, dude, I love what you're doing. I was like, I want to learn how to like maybe start doing it. Where would you start? He's like, buy a camera. I was like, what camera?
I didn't even tell you to buy a camera.
I asked you what camera. Yeah, you told me the phone. Yeah, you're right. You just like all the cameras on the phone are like better than the cameras nowadays. I was like, but I want a camera, dude.
Yeah. You don't need it though.
Necessarily, all I want is like a big lens.
Oh,
I can take far away pictures with good resolution. Because in reality, what I would use the camera for is like taking a lot of nature pictures.
Wilderness.
I'm outside all the time, like so. In that case, I've seen some really cool stuff.
This is what you should do then. Okay, this is literally what you should do. You should plan an excursion where you're going to go hunting, like a hunter, but you're just going to go take photos. Mm-hmm. Plan where you're going to go, scout it out, and then you go to borrowlenses.com and you're going to rent a camera and a badass National Geographic lens for like $200 for 3 days.
Oh, really?
And they mail it to you. You got a fucking high level National Geographic ass setup. You go out there, you just spent like $200 for it, and you just go take all the fucking badass photos you want on your mission. You come back, pick that shit up in the box, send it back, and you fucking did it. You fucking did it. Like that's all you need to do.
That's pretty cool.
You have the highest quality version, and it's just up to you if you can get the shot.
Yeah.
Can you get up close? Can you catch it doing something cool?
I think the thing that intrigues me the most about it is like the interactions that you get with some of the animals. Like
That sounds so dope.
The pictures are cool.
Yeah.
You get some of the most badass shit. You see some of the most badass shit, but the interactions with some of these videos I've seen, like you see like chipmunks coming up and like sitting right next to like people's hands. You like foxes, rabbits, like all of these like interactions.
The meerkat on that guy's head.
Animals that come up right to you because they're curious. Like they're curious at nature, right? So they're gonna be like, "What is this? Like, what's going on?" You know, and that would be cool. But at the same time, it's also dangerous because at the same time,
consuming.
Yeah, you look back. There's like a fucking bear over there. You're like, okay, I gotta get out of here.
But those guys, those Nat Geo guys, they go out for like 9 months, and they're just out in the jungle, sitting in a fucking tent, taking pictures.
If I can do that, right?
Yeah.
And I can do a really good job at that. I'm very young still. I can maybe even like get to the point to where if I get good at it, like you can get like contracts through like bigger companies that will pay you to literally go out and do stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, kind of.
No?
That's what I used to think. That's what I used to think.
Really?
I used to want to be a Nat Geo guy. And I used to think I was going to just do cool work to show I have a cool portfolio and they'll hire me to do these jobs.
It's not as easy as it
That's
looks.
not what they do.
Oh.
They do grants to people who are already doing that shit for a living.
Would you tell me out there? You can't just let me live in my little fantasy world.
Yeah, but that's where I started. I started on that journey, wanted to do that. And sometimes I think about it because I do love animals. I'm fucking, animals are the shit. And it would be so cool to have experiences with such rare animals, things that other people don't get to experience a lot of. Some unique human-animal interaction. Sounds so thrilling. But I get a lot of satisfaction, more satisfaction, because if I didn't, I would switch to fucking documenting squirrels around here to try to build a portfolio of me documenting badass animals. But I don't do that because I value a lot more human interactions. Okay. That's why I do this podcast too. Because I feel like humans, they got a lot to offer. Animals got a lot to offer. Don't get me wrong, but they don't talk much. You gotta,
you gotta isolate yourself.
You gotta become one of them and shut the fuck up and be out there.
And that's the crazy thing. I feel like isolation's it's important to like be able to be okay being alone.
Yeah.
Like being alone and being okay being alone. Like I feel like there's so much dependency. Like people hold on to other people is crazy to me.
Have you done solo trip yet?
Huh?
Have you done any?
I want to.
You haven't done one? Because you were with Manny over in Hawaii.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, that's the one thing that's burning and itching in my soul since the day I fucking graduated high school. It's just getting the fuck out. I can't fight the feeling of just wanting to go somewhere.
Dude,
and
you got a car? Go.
I got other obligations and family.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff like that.
Responsibility. Love is the killer of duty.
Kind of keeps me here, keeps me tied down here for now. But eventually, once I get those obligations and responsibilities taken care of, I can start doing the things that I really want to do, and that's okay. Times, I'm still young.
You're in shape, dude. So you could just go run some trails.
I know.
What people count as a fucking day or 2 day excursion, just go fucking run that trail. Just park. I'm taking some water on my hip, and we're finish that fucking trail as fast as you can, and you see everything. It's like speed reading, dude. I got inspired because I heard Elon Musk say he listens to books at 5 speed, which I realize is a joke now because you can't understand shit at 5 speed. And he said, well, when I'm trying to pay attention, I listen to it at 2. And ever since I heard that, I started boosting. I start my books at 3 times 3 speed. And then it's so fast. What is it? And I start going backwards, because then it's relatively slower. And I can listen to 2.3 pretty comfortably, but if I really need to try to soak in what's happening, I do like 1.9, 1.8. But churning, because the amount of books you can read in a lifetime, if your computer can only download 1 book a week, you can either choose the right books or increase the download speed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're consuming shit. You can just get it done faster, and you got another. But finishing 1 book in the time, I could finish 2. I'm finishing 2 books in the time I would have just finished that first book.
That first one. Yeah.
And then we compound that over my lifetime. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited to read a lot.
Do you listen more than you read?
Oh, I listen all the time. That's how I do it. Whenever I'm driving anywhere, when I'm at the gym, I'm listening to the book mostly.
You listen to the book more than music itself.
Do you see me up on the upstairs though, talking to myself a lot ever?
No.
When I'm doing cardio, because I do my Bosnian training. I do Croatian there.
I am so on my shit, dude, by myself. Like, and
in the zone.
And that's one thing, dude. I feel like I was actually thinking about that today. I was like, so many people are so fucking focused on themselves. Like, and people like don't want to go to the gym. They're like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym. I'll be judged. I'm just like,
oh yeah, no one's looking at you.
It's like, I promise you. Every fucking person there is so focused on themselves that they don't even see you.
The true test. Fucking bench without a spotter and fail. Takes forever to get someone to get your come so help
funny.
your ass.
It's so funny. That was me today on incline. I was like putting it up, and I was like on like 6 to 8. I was doing like 6 to 8 reps, and I was like on like 7, and I went up. I was like in my head. You know the thought. You're just
like, can I do one more?
I could do one more.
Yeah.
I was like, should I do one more?
Fuck it, let's go.
I barely got the last one, but whatever. I go up and I get like, nope. I'm like, because there's this really, really pretty girl in front of me in the squat rack. I'm just like, I was like,
oh my God.
I like dropped it, rolled it down to my hips.
No, you didn't. On incline, dude, I feel like you're going to crush your balls that way, dude.
I rolled it to my hips, flipped it over, put it down.
You are fucking crazy.
I took off my headphone and I looked at this chick that like was in front of me. I was like, where were you? Because she like looks at me. She looks at me and sees it on the ground. I was like, where were you? She's like, what?
Oh my God.
I was like, I needed you and you weren't there to help me. What the hell? And she's like, I didn't even hear you. And I was just like, I was taking off the weight, about to put it back up.
Oh my God.
And I was like, no, I'm just kidding. I was like, I didn't say anything. I was like, just let me suffer in silence. It's okay.
I thought you'd want to die. I'd be embarrassed. I'd just want to die if I was you.
Just trying to make a joke out of it. I was like,
yeah.
But then after I was just like, I just cleaned the weight and put it down. I was just,
oh yeah, popped your butt into it. Dude, is it the incline bench by the stairs?
Yeah. Like right next to
I had the same scenario. I came down, I got stuck, but I didn't put it down. I was scared about crushing my dick. I was like, I don't want to go down. And so I sat there with it and I was waiting, trying to get eye contact. I was trying to make eye contact with this guy who was on the machine down closer to the water fountain that way. Mm-hmm. And I was like waiting for him forever, dude. He was never looking. And that's why I'm like, dude, I'm like, no one's fucking looking. I'm looking right now. There's people everywhere. No one sees my ass sitting here being crushed.
That's how you know nobody fucking cares about you.
And then finally, like I saw him and I was like this. And he's like, oh, and he like ran to me.
Oh shit, dude.
And I was like, thank you. And he's like, oh, sorry, dude. He's like, I just saw you over there. I was like, no, I've been watching you actually for quite a while. You have horrible form, by the way. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like, it just reminds me of that video. It's like, what you need to do if you ever feel like you're going to fail a lift. You're going to, it's like a demonstration on like what to do if you fail a lift. It's just like, you want to go down. And when you feel like you're going to fail your lift, you press that shit right the fuck back up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Literally. Bodybuilders are so great, dude. I love the fucking YouTube bodybuilding community. They're so funny. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's get back to philosophy, shall we?
Yeah.
No more comical shit. Back to serious matters. No, just kidding. Do you think individuals have the power to change the course of history, or are they... No, fuck that one. I have a lot of deep ones that are a little boring now that I look at it. Okay, this is a good one. What do you believe constitutes true happiness?
Money, sex, and weed.
Oh yeah. The more
true happiness, I believe, comes at a certain time of maturity in your life. I do believe that. I believe like you think you're happy at certain points of your life. You have like these time periods, right? You have like phases of your life where it's like what we were talking about earlier, where like you have like, so much over time and like you think more and more and more as your time goes by, right? I feel like happiness is also one of those things. Like you think happiness could be one thing at one part of your life because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel happy and you truly are happy. But then like one little tiny thing can be a sliver in that happiness and it cracks and crumbles. And then that's not really true happiness. So like finding true happiness, I feel like it just comes with time and it comes with, it's different in different like shapes and forms, right? Like happiness comes from family, like a loved one, but like you also have like that loved one. You have families that hate each other, don't talk to each other. So you can't just say it's natural happiness that just because you're your family, right? So in that case, like I feel like you get to choose your friends. You get to choose the people you surround yourself by. Also, you get to choose if you're happy or not.
Yeah, it seems like a relative thing, a subjective matter of whether one's happy or not. And so for me, a quick way to summarize it for me, I was just thinking about this, is to find gratitude in all things.
Yes, 100%. Every day. Even if it's little. Have you ever heard of like there's ways to like like manifest like happiness and like get rid of stress, anxiety, and like depression. Right? Like you use little increments and little like what is the assurances? It's affirmations, right?
Oh, affirmations,
and
like a mantra.
Like one thing you can do is like, for example, like every day when you wake up, I want you to wake up, have a notepad next to your bed when you wake up, and I want you to write down 5 things that you're grateful for that you woke up today. You know, and then it teaches you humbleness, and it pulls you down from the world to realize, like, damn, like, how much am I taking advantage of on each day? And every day, because you have a journal, and every page, right, it has to be different every day. You can't be grateful for the same thing, right? So when you look back on yesterday's thing, you can't be grateful for the same thing.
Just be genuine. Be genuine. This is the goal. What are you genuinely grateful for?
Exactly. And then I don't write down. I don't get to the point to where I write down, but I definitely wake up every day. I wake up every day, and I say to myself that I'm grateful for just being here. You know, and it's very morbid to think, because like death is like one thing I'm scared of, but like I'm grateful for everything. Like being able to stand up, being able to breathe, being able to hear, being able to walk, because there's things that go away naturally, like a phenomenon, to people overnight, like a snap of a finger. There's occurrences of people going blind overnight. There's occurrences of like brain aneurysms been dying overnight.
Yeah, aneurysms are freaky shit.
So
I used to always say, the first thing you think of when you wake up in the morning is your God. So what's your God?
do you think of the same thing every day when you wake up?
No, but if you wake up, you go straight to your phone. Your phone's your God. It rules your life. You wake up first thing in the morning, you're thinking about your loved ones. I mean, those are the most important things to you. They're your God on this planet. They're the most high priority. I think God is a general term of the highest priority in your conscious mind. What matters most to you? And to some people, I mean, the actual universal creator is God. Some people it's love, and they tell themselves it's an actual universal creator. But when it comes down to it, are they going to stab their son Abraham for the sake of an angel telling him in a dream that you should kill your son?
Ooh, yeah.
Are you that committed to your universal creator, or do you hold your loved ones higher than that?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't even think I'd be able to answer it. I'd have to contemplate on that one and think about it.
Nice. Those are always great questions when they lead you to that. Okay, here's a fun one. If you could elect any fictional character as president, who would it be and why?
Any fictional character?
Yes.
And why?
Yeah.
You go first and give me an example.
Fuck, this is hard. I was hoping you would go first. Fictional.
I got it.
Oh, who?
Wait.
You lost it.
I would say Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. Gandalf.
I'd say Dumbledore. You want to know why? Dumbledore?
Why?
Because he let Harry Potter suffer through 8 movies. 8 movies, knowing exactly what had to be done, and still let it occur. So, like, see, that someone to rule, is it the world, he said?
No, be president.
To be president
of the U.S.
He needs to know what needs to be done to get the job done.
Gandalf is better.
No way.
Gandalf goes down and throws down against orcs in battle. He's Trump. He's like, fight.
The Dumbledore, you know, dude, he's just old and
Dumbledore's
sad.
like Biden. He's like, oh, don't make me drink it, Harry.
Let's do one more character then.
Okay.
Fuck. But you have to say the first one this time.
What, another fictional character?
Yeah, let's do one more. One more.
All right, Gus from Breaking Bad. President of the U.S. He knows how to run shit efficiently.
And get money on the back end.
Mm-hmm. That guy is going to get us great deals with China.
Bro, he'd get us out of debt so quick, bro.
Yeah. He's like, actually, we're in more debt. He's just getting rich. He's going to be a corrupt motherfucker just like all of them. Well, what are your... Yeah, I mean...
I'm not thinking anything, dude. You got to think like there's cartoons out there.
But those shallow cartoons suck. Choose someone with depth.
Yeah, I'm talking like...
You got Dumbledore. You're going to follow that up with what? Samwise Gamgee.
Mufasa, dude.
Mufasa. That's... I mean, we only saw him for a little bit. I mean, he couldn't even control his little son. He can control America.
That's a kid, dude. You can't control anything.
Yeah, you're right. He always stood tall with wisdom, fought for what he loved. You're right. He is a good choice.
I'd say Mufasa.
That's the ultimate sacrifice, the most ultimate display of love, giving your life for someone you love. The most ultimate display of love. Hopefully none of us ever have to do that. I hope I just die peacefully in my sleep.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Dude, do you ever hold your breath in your sleep?
I wouldn't know. I'm a deep sleeper. I don't.
You never wake up from holding your breath though?
No.
Sometimes I have. I think that's apnea.
crazy.
Apnea. I probably got apnea.
You probably got sleep apnea. Yeah.
But I was thinking about it. This is fucked up. People who love me are going to be pissed about me saying this, but it's true. The best thing you could ask for is a peaceful death in your sleep.
That is true.
Painless. So if apnea is dangerous because I hold my breath in my sleep till I die, I mean, this is going to be a gentle little, that's the best I could ask for.
That is the best thing to ask for. I'm not.
And I didn't do it. God gave me. This is what the fuck? What am I supposed to? If I didn't have the technology to put a machine on, God would make sure I died in my sleep.
Yeah. That's big
So
facts.
I don't want to go against that. It was going to follow nature.
Big facts. I love that idea though, because I'll ask you a question. Would you rather burn to death or die to death?
Die to death. Freeze. To freeze to death?
Would you rather burn alive or drown?
Oh, dang, that's hard. What kind of fire?
Like you're
Like gas, regular gas, or like
the stuntman that's like and he's caught on fire like completely.
that seems like the most painful possible way to
How
die.
about this? I'll put it in a different scenario. Okay, you just got tied to a post like a witch from back in the day, and you're about to be at the stake, burned alive. Okay,
Yes.
or you get put into like this tank and it's slowly filling up, and you slowly fill up, and then you drown with the knowing that you're going to drown as you slowly fills up, and then you finally get that last gasp of air. Or would you rather see somebody literally light you on fire until like you can no longer feel pain because your brain's full of oxygen and you eventually will pass out and die, but you get to feel all the pain up until that point? Same thing with drowning.
But that's not how drowning goes.
No, burning. But I was burning alive.
Oh yeah. Okay. Do you know what you would choose?
I would drown alive. I would drown.
How do you think the drowning process is going to go?
I think the drowning process, at first, you will hold your breath as long as possible. And then eventually you won't be able to hold your breath. And then all that's left is consuming water. And at that point, you will fill your lungs full of water until they can't. And then they'll collapse and basically explode. And then it's like, I would say like a burning fire inside of like your body until it's no longer that feeling anymore, until the same reaction happens when you no longer get oxygen in your brain. It'll come to us like a subconsciousness of no longer being there. Like your body will eventually start shutting down and going numb, and then eventually it'll just fade away. I think so, but that's just my perspective.
You know what would be the best thing to do? They put you in that tank. Hopefully you're like, help me, help me. They shout it, lock it, start filling it up. You're like, help, help, help. And as soon as it's about too far for them to return, take your pants off, tie it around your neck, and fucking crank that shit so that it cuts your carotid artery off and you pass out in 5 seconds.
Ooh, yeah.
And then you just die from brain loss of blood, and you just die. You don't, because I was working on this Eugenio Derbez show. He's one of the highest paid actors in Mexico. Do you know who he is?
Nope.
Eugenio Derbez. He's like the Adam Sandler of Mexico, kind of.
Okay.
Anyways, I went on this reality show where we went to national parks around here, and the security guy on the show, he was like the COVID regulator security guy. He was the security fucking honcho for Amazing Race before that. So you know Amazing Race? Mm-hmm. So he was like, he had a scary vibe. He was a bodyguard for the German president before that. I went to his website, I was like leading his resume because he was a cool dude, super tall, like fucking German dude, bald. And I was talking to him, we were talking about this exact scenario, and he said the way you die from drowning isn't the way people think it is. You actually body starts to reject the water and you vomit out, and you start vigorously vomiting and then inhaling your vomit, vomiting, inhaling your vomit. And it's like a really, really shitty, painful experience.
Like a Russian dude would only know that by seeing some shit.
I know. I was like, what?
Like, how do you know that, bro? It's just like, you don't want to know.
I know. That's the vibe that guy had too. It was like a cold killer vibe. Yeah.
That also leads me to like just a random ass thought just now, like because suicidal prevention is like a really big thing right now. What if you offered not suicide tanks, but like attempted suicide, right? Like for example, you get to get in a deprivation tank, you get to sit in it, it'll fill you up, and you get to be, and they set you up on like IVs to where they can monitor your like your heart rate, right? You're truly at your wit's end, and that's all you want to do is just let it all go, right? You get in that tank, and they let you fucking drown, dude. Like drown, like you're about the glimpse, and drops them out. Boom, breath of fresh air. Resuscitate. Have to resuscitate.
But do they know they're gonna live?
Yes.
So that people might be thrill seekers,
but they get to experience the thought of
just give them DMT.
Like,
just come into the hospital, we'll inject you with DMT if you think you want to kill yourself. But then you get people who are thrill seekers like that. Just like the same thing with other things.
Advertise actual suicide tanks.
No one ever sees them again.
They think they're gonna die, but like
they force you to witness protection.
They sign a waiver, like a claim saying they can't say anything afterwards, right?
Yeah, just like they did with all the paleontologists.
And then they pull him, bring him back from the life, dude, and like they change their perspective. It's like, fuck, I don't want to die, dude.
Dude, there's a movie like that. The people who like the doctors, students who like go into near death, they like get each other to go into near death experiences constantly and bring each other back because they trip. Have you seen that movie?
No.
It's a cool movie, but they end up like summoning a demon. It's like the twist of the movie. It's a cool. What is it? Oh, fuck, I can't remember. I'll look it up after this. But yeah, they would go and strap down. They're like medical students, and they would like get them take each other down to like near death level where their heart just slows till it's like pretty much dead, and then they would let them be there for a little bit. And they're like, "All right, get them back. 1 minute max." So they like bring them back, and then they come back
and rush, dude.
Yeah, and they feel like they're out of place. But then finally, after doing it, one girl gets addicted going into near death, and then one day she comes out and there's a thing in the room with them, and she's like, "Ah, what the fuck?"
Fuck that.
And it starts following them.
Do you believe in paranormal stuff?
I don't not believe in it.
That's not a straight enough answer for me, dude.
I haven't experienced paranormal.
Me either. And so like it leads me to believe that it's non-existent. But like I'm not.
I haven't seen the ice in Antarctica. I think it's real.
Do you think the wall is real?
The ice wall where we can't go beyond, and it's the fucking Truman Show.
Yeah, kind of, but not necessarily like the Truman Show. But
there's a lot of people who've traversed Antarctica, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's like people who get Guinness World Records for traversing Antarctica solo and shit.
But only when where they're allowed. There's military bases that don't allow people into certain parts of Antarctica.
And in America too.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
So what are they hiding for real? Like there's no reason to have a full military like security system to keep people out of places unless it was something fucking big.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking like United States keeping the United States out. We're talking like a military government that keeps everyone out. I don't care where you're from.
Yeah.
I don't care what country you're from. You can't come in here.
And so what does this lead you to speculate that they're doing?
That there's something out there that like they don't want us to see.
Like what?
I don't know. I don't know.
What do you think the people, what do you think the big conspiracy people think?
I think that like kind of like the Truman Show or a civilization that is actually making it work and they're letting us struggle like an experiment.
Dude, I just read
do you know about Aryans? Like Aryans, like
tall white people.
Yeah, tall white blonde people, like aliens, basically.
Pleiades people,
and how like
Pleiades.
the Nazis went down there and like flew into like this area of Antarctica. It was just ice,
and the Nazis were making UFOs.
And they fly into like this green area pasture. And it went from like
Shangri-La.
30 degrees or whatever the temperature was, and it went up to like 70 degrees, 80 degrees. It was melting the ice off of the plane, and like he said, like, supposedly I watched this video with my brother, and they said that there's notes in dictating that like two round figure like machines flew up on the sides of him. His entire plane stopped functioning completely and was just hovering at one point. And then they came
Sound like some Bermuda Triangle shit.
Yeah, they came in with their planes and hovered under their plane and took him in and like talked to him and stuff. And they said they let him go and shit. The excursion was just like the guy that you said, where he had like thousands of people. It was like a military like journey. They were taking like 3 of these like huge battle carriers, right? Full of thousands of these like soldiers and scientists and all these people.
And they came back with one boat and a third of their people, right? And there was one, because like this all came out, this guy, they were all sworn to secrecy. But this guy ended up on his deathbed having a private journal that he gave to like his great grandson or something like that. And he came public with it. And this is all from his private journal. Like the first time they encountered these flying saucers, they came flying out of the water from underneath them, broke through the ice.
What do you think?
Hovering
Why do you think that journal holds weight of evidence to you?
To me?
Yeah.
And it's just something I heard.
Is it because did they have like a high rank in the military or something?
Yes.
And that's why it should be taken with some weight.
He had worked his ranks up. He just made himself a name for himself in the military, and that person. That's why he was selected for this mission, because he had made a name for him throughout his like military career, and then that's why he was selected for the mission in the first place.
Dude, when I was flying back from Turkey a month ago, I listened to the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. There are these books. Story that came out of the crypts of the Egypt and Pyramid of Giza. This story supposedly comes from a guy who claims to be an Atlantean, and he wrote about the ancient days and his experience with the people of the inner earth, people who live inside the earth, and they're like there's like a divine beings that live in the earth. They're like higher level, higher like conscious things or something, and they give him wisdom, and that's what the Emerald Tablets of Thoth are. Thoth is that Atlantean guy. Yeah, and I went through that book, and that was a fun book. It was really, I was getting into the vibe sometimes where I'm like, damn, this shit feels real.
Dude, do you believe in like the lost city of Atlantis?
It seems to be talked about in a lot of places, like Plato. You know, Plato a lot of people regard it. I don't know. The Eye of Sahara seems
Plato
a lot like it.
The Greece era, right? From that area.
You know, the Eye of Sahara? Yeah, ancient Greece.
That's where
Yeah,
Plato's
like 200 BC.
Which was perfect because it actually like goes into like what I was thinking to tell you. Like in the city of Atlantis, I think was originally surfaced. It was a surface city, like in the Gulf of Italy, Greece, in that area where they're like the Panhandle, where that boot is.
Oh,
there's this big gulf right there.
Oh, like the giant structures.
No, like Gulf of Water,
like,
like a Gulf of Water right here, and this is one of like this is deep, like deep. You can't like go as deep as it is right in that area.
Yeah.
In that sense, what if Pangea existed and it separated the entire world? Who's to say that Atlantis wasn't actually a city that lived on the surface with us as humans?
Do you know what Atlantis was described to look like?
What was it like
by Plato? How they described it?
Wouldn't it be like Athens? Like
there was
Greek?
rings. There was rings. Atlantis was a city with rings structure that went out further, and it was water within the city.
Boom.
And this guy
sunk to the bottom of the ocean.
Claims that Atlantis could be in the Eye of the Sahara, this place in the middle of Africa that no one goes to, where there's these rings and there's signs of heavy water erosion. Like if you zoom out on the map, there's like crazy. It looks like a giant. Like Noah's flood fucking went through there. It looks like
this is on Earth.
And there's salt.
This pictures from Earth.
And that I just Googled Eye of Sahara and put it in there. That shit's crazy, huh? That shit, it looks like how Atlantis is described to look like. Mm-hmm. And even to the way they describe it in the north, there's these, the north of that spot is the Atlantis Mountains range, because it was named after that. People there named it after their ancient King Atlantis or something like that. Mm-hmm. There's so much little weird things going on there that makes it feel like, damn, that place might be Atlantis. There's a lot of things going for it.
Yeah. Although when I think of Atlantis, I think of a lot of like the Greek mythology, like Athena, Zeus, Hercules, like how they like live their lifestyle like that.
I mean, if you're even biblical, this sounds like conspiracy, but if you're biblical, you know Sodom, Gomorrah, the ancient days where there was people who became wicked and God wiped their asses, mm-hmm. and Earth restarted with one family, well, two families, and they fucking made the big question I always have, because I mapped out Noah's. He goes through it in Genesis. He gave birth to this, and he gave birth to this, and he gave birth to this, and I was like mapping it out, doing years, and I made this fucking map of it, and it's somehow they made their big family within like 800 years, but then it ends up being Moses going down to, or Joseph going to Egypt, where there's all of a sudden a huge civilization of Egyptians as well. I'm like, the whole earth got wiped. Where are these Egyptians from? I think they might have came from like the Canaanites. I think people try to blame it on some like one of the brothers that went away, one of Noah's sons who branched off and went and made a new civilization. But yeah, I mean, who knows how biblical years go anyways.
Yeah.
Because when you read it, you think, okay, Earth wiped. 100 years later, Noah and a bunch of people. 100 years later, now they're fighting the Egyptians. But maybe it's a metaphorical story representing back when there was giant cities, Egyptians, people who had crazy civilization, Atlanteans, new different type of world. They reached this high level of sophisticated technology and civilization, and then they got wiped. Maybe a fucking asteroid.
And we had to start over.
Yeah, maybe an asteroid smacked a glacier 12,000 years ago and wiped them all. Because that's what it looks like. You know about that? The Younger Dryas?
About what?
Younger Dryas. The Younger Dryas impact theory from like 13,000 years ago. There was asteroids that were fucking smacking all over America. Northern Idaho has a site where there's giant, huge craters in the ground. And that 13,000 years ago, there was an ice age where there was mammoths and shit. No one knows why the mammoths and saber-tooth tigers, everybody died. Something happened. And Younger Dryas seems like a good theory that could explain fucking asteroids smacked the fucking ice wall, wiped out, made Lake Bonneville, made all these giant lakes because these fucking ice just instantly melts from a fucking nuclear bomb from space smacking it. And then a giant flood wipes the fucking earth and kills everybody. And then the survivors are like, God was mad. He came down with this fist of fire.
Yeah. Because they ain't never seen some shit like that before. You know?
Because everybody writes about the flood. Everybody, all corners of the earth talking about the flood. So it seems pretty
It has to be
historical.
It's like what I was saying earlier, like how religion's everywhere and it's all the same everywhere, just different types. So you hear about the flood everywhere, just different types.
So for
the same thing.
So for right now, where do you stand with how your belief in God is?
Just like I said earlier, it's I believe in something.
No, this is the better question. Because we could say, what is God? Okay, this is a good one. What does God look like?
You know that guy from Family Guy that portrays
The chicken?
God? No, that portrays God. The God.
Like Jesus with
God.
white hair guy?
No, that's Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Like God is like the guy that has a receding bald head, long white hair, long white beard. That's God.
Like an old white dude balding. No, he's got to be buff. He got the best genetics, the most prime genetics.
I think it's different because there's, not to be in any way whatsoever here, but like there's Black Jesus, there's Jewish God. There's like
Jesus was a Jew,
and I think he was black, but he's not like chocolate black, but
he's like a light skin.
He's like he's a light skin,
not like Akon, like fucking Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He got the same moves too.
But I think it's real. But the what makes it real to me is that like it's everywhere. Like what I said, like it's his history is everywhere.
Do you think God's a
time periods? I think it's it. I think it's a feeling.
Like I was telling you about the Tao Te Ching earlier, the yin and yang. The one gave birth to the two. The one is the way, and the way is the universe. It's everything. The night and the day, the life and the death, the male and the female. And it makes me think maybe the universe is beyond sex. It's everything that is creation. So
yeah, like we all belong. It's like the nature of life. Like we all live, we all die, and we all like perish and go away. Eventually, after thousands of years, you as a physical being will no longer cease to exist on this planet after a certain amount of time. Like just bones, maybe.
And the best thing, you return to dust, just like everyone, like it says biblically, return to dust, like where you came from.
Or like for Lion King, make it a little bit more simple. And it's just like the process of life, you know. That's just the way of life where the antelope eat the grass and we eat the antelope and then we die and then go into the earth and then they eat us.
The circle of life. So beautiful. Oh, what a beautiful note to end it on. Nice. 2.5 hours. Thank you for sticking with us, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get out of here. I'm burning balls. Got to get ready to go spar. Thank you for coming, Angel. Peace.